In my humble opinion, Doomsday is the single best deck in Vintage. Always has been. Okay, welcome back, Vintage Gamers. This is going to be my first challenge after winning last week's challenge. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I took Legacy's most broken deck that is causing tournaments to be disbanded and Legacy players to riot. I took that deck and played it in Vintage and won the Vintage challenge, so kind of an interesting thing. No one has really seen that deck list on Decklist sites because deck lists have been down for 2 weeks. They are coming back on Monday, but they are coming back in a bad way. We're going back to top 32 decklist posting for challenges, which is very disappointing. It would mean we would have to go back to looking at replays, and honestly, 4 replays a week just doesn't sound feasible to me. So I'm not really sure if we're even going to be continuing the vintage data project in the near future. That's probably all a discussion for a different time, different video. Today we're playing a vintage challenge, and I'm just gonna play Doomsday. I need to get some practice in for the Oklahoma land run, which I will be playing in at the end of the month. Thank you to Ed and the people over there for helping get me out there. So I will be playing in that event at the end of the month, trying to win. It's either a Mox or a Time Walk or something. And so I want to practice a deck that I am likely to play in the event. And considering how well the NYSE went with Doomsday, and I believe it went well. I didn't top 8, obviously. It went 5-3. But I thought it was a good event for me. I'm going to be playing more Doomsday on stream as we go. I think I'm at this point where I feel comfortable playing Doomsday on stream, where I can tell chat why they're mostly wrong, and I definitely enjoy the deck more than I did before I started playing it. Nothing here is new or outstanding. I swapped the Spell Pierce back for a Flusterstorm, and then I swapped the Dismember back for a Shieldred, and I put a Long Goodbye in the deck. Long Goodbye is a little bit of a concession to Frog existing. Lots of Frog decks going around. Frog is a nuisance for this kind of strategy, so just a Doomsday deck. We're going to cast Dark Ritual, and we're going to play Doomsday, and then we're going to break into the pile and cast Thassa's Oracle. Hopefully we can play this at a high level, make some good content. A lot of the best Doomsday players on the platform don't end up making content, which is a little unfortunate. But there's a lot of Doomsday content if you want to check out Eric, Revenant Kyoku, I forget how to say it. He puts out lots of Doomsday content weekly, so. But this time it's going to be me, and I'm going to hopefully play it really well and hopefully top 8 another challenge. See what happens. Are you interested in weekly vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my vintage content? Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. Okay, welcome to round 1. Let's do it. I won the die roll. I have a Force of Will hand. I have a Probe, and yeah, this hand's great. Keep. It does have the Undercity Sewers in it. I mean, I just did the intro perk where I said I'm trying to practice for my tournament at the end of the month. I just said this. I mean, I did win last weekend with a wacky deck that no one else had played, so I think we did some of that too. We also do, 2 wacky decks on every past Wednesday. Every Wednesday's donation deck list. Those are always wacky. I gotta play some real decks some point, right? Winning with a good deck is boring. Yeah, I'm not gonna agree with that one. Winning is never boring. Winning with a unique deck is more fun, agreed. But winning in general is pretty damn good. Do I like playing Doomsday? I'd like it a lot more than I used to. I didn't like it for a long time, but now I don't mind. I don't think it's as fun as playing Tinker or PO or those kind of decks, but I like it more than I used to. All right, we got opponent's got a mulligan to 6. Well, it says opponent's last play was Prison Shops, which can be kind of a rough matchup, actually. Being on the Plague on the die roll is very strong, but there's a lot of pieces in Prison Shops that are annoying for the Doomsday player. Workshops, Spheres, obviously, Wastelands, those kind of things. I want to probe and see exactly what I need to play against here. Okay, so probably not workshops, considering mental misstep was just used to counter my probe. So then I have to choose between... I think I'd rather just get this tap land going. So this hand looks bad. I disagree substantially. I had 2 free draw spells and a Force of Will and multiple lands. This is a perfectly fine hand. It's not a win the game on turn 1 hand, but it's a fine hand. Like, having a bunch of lands in the wasteland-dominated vintage metagame is very good. Having force is very important, and having cantrips is the way to play Doomsday, so... Mystical Tutor. Having seen Mental Misstep, I'm not exactly thrilled with the idea of Mystical Tutor. I'm just gonna graveyard that. Yeah, I mean, I would love to have Dark Ritual and Doomsday in my opening hand, but I'm not, you know, this is Magic. I'm certainly not mulliganing a 7-card Force of Will triple cantrip, triple land hand. Ruby. And Oath. Okay. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. They have an Orchard, so I have to force it. Okay, so they have Oath with Force backup. There is no spell I can cantrip into here that would do anything, so we're gonna go to my turn and hope to draw Ancestral, probably. Oh, I have Daze, you're right. I do play 1 Daze, so if I draw Daze off the top, I lost the game. It's on me. I forgot I put the Daze back in. Most of the decks now are playing 1 Negation, not 1 Daze, but I am playing Daze. Okay, so let's Street Wraith and for a Daze. Thassa's Oracle. That's probably not going to be good enough unless they hit an Atraxa that doesn't hit them a Force and I draw a Consult. Yeah, I mean, there are obviously lots of combinations that start with Ancestral. The good news is that this matchup is quite good for Doomsday. I would say Doomsday is a heavy favorite in the versus Oath and Tell, but Oath and Tell is a powerful deck. It's a it's a Tinker deck. It can win the game if it has its good start. And Mental Misstep, Force backup, Oath of Druids with an Orchard on turn 1 is just about as good as it gets. Gush. Okay. Do we want to Gush right now? Question mark. The game is not getting better. So the problem with Gushing right now is we get rid of a lot of kills that we possibly have on the next turn. I really don't like Gushing here. But the problem is if the Atraxa hits a single Force, I look really dumb, right? And it's pretty likely that it does. I think Golos in Jewel is good because the only card in Jewel that like prevents you from not losing to a Null Rod is Tolarian Academy. So having more access to Tolarian Academy is really good. I don't mind that. So if I Gush, I need to hit things like Black Lotus. If I vote blue and black and I Gush into Dark Ritual Doomsday, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna Gush. I'm gonna Gush now, and I'm not gonna be happy about it. Like, the more you play Jewel, the more you realize that your deck just folds to everything, but the way your deck doesn't fold is often Tolarian Academy. So, Jarvis was playing Jewel, and Jarvis added an extra Expedition map to get Tolarian Academy. The problem with Expedition map is you can't get Tolarian Academy through a Null Rod, whereas a Golos just goes and gets Tolarian Academy, right? So I did hit the Dark Ritual, but I also just hit another Oracle, and I'm dead. So I'm going to go to my opponent's turn so I can see their flip over, but we're dead here. All right, so they are playing the Null Rod main list. It's a good thing to note. Oh. No, we cannot win if we rip Doomsday because we don't have a way to break into a pile. My opponent's my opponent didn't actually hit a force, but they did hit show and tell Atraxa, so they could put another Atraxa in play. Yeah, Atraxa doesn't have haste, but Atraxa draws force of will. Like, this is gonna be a long stream, isn't it? Like, being dead does not have to mean in this context having 0 life. Okay, vampiric time walk. All right, that's fine. Oh, I love outside assistance, Jordan. It makes me so better. I win so many more games because of it. All right, I'm gonna bring in negation and dress down. I'm not gonna bring in mindbreak trap. I don't usually like mindbreak trap here. I'm gonna take out island. I'm going to take out. What else was I taking out here? I usually take out like mystical tutor. Maybe it's just like mystical and vamp. It's not even like that bad to keep mystical and vamp in against this deck because this deck isn't really a grinding deck, but this is fine. Negations and dress downs in. When am I bringing in Shieldred? It's mostly for sideboard jukes or decks that are doing a lot of drawing. Lurrus Saga, Countervine, Psychic Frog decks. Obviously, we're bringing in Dress Down for Atraxa and Show and Tell, and then Negation because all of their spells are sorcery speed payoffs. I don't really like Mindbreak Trap because the Oath deck doesn't typically play a third spell. Like in this case, it would have worked because it was Mox, Oath, Force. But like, if I didn't, if I don't have a Force, then the Mindbreak Trap's not even turned on. So why don't people use Cavern of Souls? Because it's not very necessary. Like you overpower counter spells with a naturally good pile. You don't really need to beat counter spells in Vintage. You just already are winning that way. All right, now we're trolling, right? Chat, we're trolling. It's okay. Dark Ritual, Ancestral Recall, Street Wraiths number 2. Yeah, we're gonna keep this one. We'll start with a Street Wraith, and then hold the second Street Wraith, and then we'll Ancestral, depending on what we got going on here. It's gonna probably be an Ancestral on their upkeep, though. Sand isn't, like, amazing, but it's certainly a good one. Exactly. We definitely are looking for a Force of Will in a Doomsday, but besides that, we're in a good spot. There is like one strip mine in the opponent's deck, but there's no wastelands, or there shouldn't be too many wastelands. Fetch land. I'm gonna hold the fetch land for the ponder and possible undercity sewers, and just go for pass the turn ancestral on their upkeep. I think most decks should play the one of strip mine. We are moving closer to that. I don't want to use this Street Wraith because I would like to be able to win the game next turn. I guess I have a Ponder, so I don't have to be able to win the game. So I actually will use the Street Wraith because this Ponder should be able to break into a Doomsday pile and win the game. So let's use a Street Wraith here. Do I think Jewel being a large share of the minigame is good or bad for Vintage? I mean, it's just a deck. I don't know why people freak out. Like there's lots of decks that are good and don't have good play patterns. That's Vintage. In fact, the deck that has the best play patterns in Vintage for the sake of like format health is the one that people complain about the most. So I don't even think Jewel is a super large metagame share right now, but I don't know because I don't have any data, so I can't back anything up I say anymore. It's all feelings. So I have a negation now. Is there a value in time walking here and just like fetching an underground sea? I kind of think so. Well, I mean, I did know how good it was. It was very good. uh, I'm pretty sure like every viable vintage deck does the thing you're describing. Every viable vintage deck is a powerful deck on a certain axis that needs you to answer it. Like, is mono white any different from Jewel in that sense? Like, you have to warp your deck by playing 10 removal spells to be very good against mono white. Is Dredge any different? Like, you have to play 10 graveyard pieces. Like, is Doomsday any different? You have to play a ton of counter spells and ways to stop. Like, it's just, if your deck is powerful, it warps the meta. That's how Magic works. People are always like card choices and warping, and I'm like, that's just Magic. Have a gush. We'll travel. Start with the Ponder. All right, here's a Doomsday. Pretty sure I can just jam this here. Make them have another answer. Wait. I don't. It's not exclamation mark chat. What's the exclamation mark for that? Quick chat. Someone do the correct exclamation mark for Diesel's comment. Why do you stream? Why do you stream? Thank you, Jordan. Why do you stream if you don't care about our opinion? I missed you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, Spell Pierce. And I know I have double now I have double Preordain underneath this. Spell Pierce, huh? I mean, we're still gushing, right? We need to make our land drop this turn. Would it really matter if we gush in response? Maybe it's like more likely to draw a counterspell on the gush. Is that good for me? I guess that's a secondary question. I mean, if my opponent's just gonna defend, oh, they are going to go for the. All right, we got rid of their Spell Pierce and their Flusterstorm, and we have double Preordain coming. Like, doesn't this leave us in a better spot than our opponent? I feel like it does. Like, that's the trick with Doomsday is like they're gonna use all of their counter spells, and then all we need to do is just sit here and cast cantrips, and we'll be back. So we have two Preordains coming off the top. I still have a counter spell if they were to like tinker this turn, and if they don't tinker this turn, then I can just go for a dig through time on their turn instead. Like, yeah, we didn't resolve our game-winning spell, but like if both of us are exchanging resources, my opponent has no cantrips in their deck and I have cantrips in my deck, that's like kind of the power of Doomsday. All right, so they didn't have a spell here, which means we can just go Underground Sea pass and look for an end of turn dig through time or an in response dig through time to something. What if they put it on the table and they don't say anything? Paper play. All right, Mox. Like I said, there's like a bunch of cards that just don't do anything. My opponent has Hardcast Force here. It's like a little annoying, but then again, they're out of things. We gotta be careful what we get rid of because all of our good cards in our yard. So if I get rid of Dark Ritual, Ponder, Misty, one Street Wraith, probably just two Street Wraiths, and leave Ancestral Time Walk Gush, all the good cards. So looks like they have a Hardcast, full Hardcast Force. Which means we get a Orchard. They have no cards, and we're still in a great spot. So again, I don't really have any problems with this. I have another Doomsday and a Flusterstorm. Do I want a Flusterstorm? Not particularly. I will take a Doomsday, though. Lands and Dark Rituals win on the spot. Force. Do I want to use this Ponder? That's actually a legitimate question that I don't know the answer to. Because I can't break into my pile and win in the same turn, but I could also like Dark Ritual Doomsday right now. I'm not actually sure the answer to that question. That's actually a question I'd really like to ask, like Kevin. Here's a pass the turn pile. All right, pass the turn pile here with multiple pieces of counter magic, 5 cards, drawing our first card. It's gonna include like Gush, Time Walk, Oracle, and then a rebuy. Can we get away with a rebuy? We don't really have a rebuy, right? Gush is our top card. Time Walk is our second card. Those are both cantripping. I guess we could get Strip Mined, and that would be a problem with this play. So we should probably play around the Strip Mine in a meaningful way. But I don't know if I want to do that until just maybe the last card. So maybe just the last card is a Underground Sea. Like they have exactly a Strip Mine in their deck. This plays against the most counter spells and does still win on the spot. Yeah, I like this. This is probably close enough. Back on Magic Online, you put this one first, and then you this, and this. All right. Blue, Gush. They could have Fluster Ancestral here is a way they might be able to win the game, right? Actually, no, because this Ancestral or Gush would have to resolve, and I'd get... Yeah, it would win the game. No, it wouldn't, because I'd have Time Walk Force and Oracle Force, and I would still win the game. Maybe? I would draw 3, go to 1. They have a Fluster right now. So what's the difference here between paying and not paying? I could just force 1 and pay 1 and win on the spot. Or I could just let it happen. Or I could draw 2, play a land and pass, and then on the next turn, I just play with force backup. I think it's fine to just pay. Still gives me 2 opportunities. And I still have forces. Yeah, I think this is fine. Cool. Man, I used to think it was so weird Justin got mad at chat, but man, does chat say some dumb stuff. I love that. Damn. Let's just run this back. I think I'm okay with days in this matchup. On the draw. I got Black Lotus, Doomsday, Flusterstorm, Dress Down, but I have no counter spells on my first turn of the game. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, I'm keeping. If they show and tell, I have Dress Down though, so that's pretty good. Doom. I don't have any way to break into my Doomsday pile either. Nothing? 4 mana, nothing? Hello? Oracle. I definitely want to get a land in play, so I have a Flusterstorm up. I guess I'm just going fetch land, Lotus, go. I guess this opens me up to getting Spell Pierce, though. So maybe I'm not even supposed to play the Lotus. Maybe I'm supposed to wait an additional turn and like, feels weird. Yeah, I think I'm not actually supposed to play the Lotus there, which is weird. Demonic Tutor, 3 mana. Okay. Does this mean Show and Tell Atraxa? Because they have double Underground Sea. I mean, if Oath plays Vexing Bauble, like, that's just egregious deck building error. Like, like this Oath deck is so reliant on 0 drops to win the, like, I know that Shere Khan played 2 Vexing Baubles, one main, one side in the Oath deck, but Shere Khan has just a very crazy view about Bauble. Like, he wrote a whole article that said Bauble need to be, like, restricted. So, like, I think I don't think it's remotely reasonable to play Vexing Bauble inside of the Oath and Tell deck. Is there any reason to fetch now? No. So what do they do demonic for? Is it just ancestral? Another Doomsday? I mean, this feels like an opportunity to just cast a Doomsday, so I don't really understand what's happening, so like this pays Spell Pierce and Fluster right now, so if they forced, then it's the 3rd spell or 2nd spell. Okay, just resolving. Well, that makes everything a little bit harder, doesn't it? I could technically win the game right now by going Dress Down into Gush, right? Dress Down into Gush, Lotus, Time Walk. I don't think it's good to go for a win here, because if my opponent didn't go for a demonic show and tell, it means they went for a demonic for a counterspell, right? Like, the only things you demonic for there are a win, a counterspell, or an ancestral. I guess they could have gone for Tinker, and they didn't want their Tinker to get Flusterstormed. That could be really bad for me. Like, if I pass the turn and they go Tinker with the ability to play around Flusterstorm, isn't that, like, really bad for me? I don't really know how I want to play this pile. This is like a weird pile. Like, the answer might just still be like a Gush, Time Walk, Lotus, Oracle pile, but it's probably still just that kind of redundant pile. But there's like some upside to putting a force on the top of my library, right? Because if I have a force on the top of my library, I can dress down into it, but it just doesn't seem good. I mean, it could be good, but I'm worried that if I do that, then I have to make a pile that still wins if they don't do anything. Like, I guess it could be force. It could be force, time walk. I can always put a bin card with sewers. It could be like force, time walk, oracle, like have a rebuy Doomsday. Force, time walk. Well, actually, I don't have enough mana, right? Because if I go for a dress down, I guess I would always have to go for a dress down on their end of second main, which is also weird. I already have a Doomsday, so I guess I don't need that. What I guess I need is a Black Lotus. I don't really need a Black Lotus, though. This is not really straightforward to me. I'm gonna take some time. I actually have some time to think about this. Maybe the answer is still Gush and Lotus. So if I put Force of Will on top and I put Gush, Time Walk, Lotus below it, and then I put Oracle as my last card. So if I put Force on top and I put Gush, Time Walk, Lotus, and Oracle as my last card. The problem is if they do nothing and I have to second main phase address down. I guess I don't need a second main phase. I main phase address down and I go for Gush and then I go for Time Walk. And then I go for, I can't even, yeah, then go for double Oracle. It's probably close. Something like this seems reasonable to me. I might be like misrepresenting a few cards here, but Oracle, Lotus, Time Walk, Gush, Force. Something like this is fine. I will cash in my dress down if they don't do anything. But what if I Flusterstorm? Then I have to cash in dress down on my turn. Oh, they're hard casting an Atraxa? Well, dress downing in end step is like, is that maybe, so they went for Tinker. Damn. Okay. I feel like I should dress down into a Force. They might have hard cast Force backup. So they did go for Tinker slow play around Flusterstorm. This also like prevents an Atraxa from happening, right? Like they can't really force this dress down. They have to wait, I think. Forcing this dress down like when it could be bait is pretty crazy. But they also know I only have one force, so maybe they don't think I have it in my hand. They think I'm drawing it. End of turn to the dress down. It's possible. Like okay. The dress down resolves. I still think I'm trying to force this, right? Probably not pitching Oracle. Probably just pitching Flusterstorm. Like, what is this Flusterstorm doing at this point in the game? So they had Flusterstorm backup on their Tinker. So that's probably the main reason they didn't want to go for their Tinker. All right, so they have a resolved Tinker, but I have a dress down, so they don't have any Atraxas coming. It's kind of an interesting spot. So I have a Time Walk and Gush on top, right? I don't die to an Atraxa hit. So there's an Atraxa, which we stopped with dress down. They did hit a Sensei's top. That's pretty bad for me. 7 life to give. They should definitely draw instead of playing Oath. That would have cost them 1 less life. They should definitely draw instead of playing Oath. That would have cost them 1 less life. Well, there's no difference between gushing first, right? Quadruple Oath. Oh, activate 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, that's so crazy. That's why they were playing the... Oh no, it was 10! Wow, they had the read. Okay. Interesting. That's pretty crazy. All right. I don't really dislike the way I played it. I feel like I made a pretty cool pile and we were able to put pressure on their spell. They just had demonic backup. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's fine. Wow. Oh. Cool. How'd I take so much damage? It was just Doomsday, right? Yeah, just Doomsday puts me always there. All right, round 2. We're up against Andreas. Andreas is playing Shops. Our hand is not very good against Workshops. I think to the point where I would consider... I would consider putting this back. Like, these cards are... I mean, I do have Vamp Oracle. Vamp Oracle is just so hard against Shops if they play a single... if they play a single sphere effect. If this was blind, I would probably consider keeping it, but... Well, Necro is like really bad against Shops. I don't like Necro much. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. This one has Mental Misstep and Flusterstorm in it, so I did not really get better for me. This one also has Oracle Mystical for Consult, though. So, like, maybe I can hit Bobble or Soul Ring off the... I mean, this hand is not good either, but I don't know if this hand is better than going to 5. Like, this is kind of a dead card, too, but I have an Undercity Sewers. I hate it. I'm gonna mulligan. Oh, and my 5 has no... My 5 has no mana. All right. I'm not gonna be able to play Force here. Went pretty badly. I think the 6 was like keepable but bad. So what's I gotta do? If he plays something I could have mental misstepped, I'll be really sad. Pretty sure I want to cycle this. Okay. I drew Vamp Necro. These are the cards that I put back because they were bad. I don't think we're winning this game. This is not an easy matchup, and we are in a horrible spot. Lost the die roll, mulled the 4, don't have good cards, draw bad cards. I don't even know how we're approaching this. This is like an end step, Undercity Sewers into... I mean, maybe we still... Sure. I don't really need a preordain at this point. Thanks, deck. Is it better to vamp for a Dark Ritual, or sorry, vamp for a Lotus and play a Necro? Or is it better? It's not. It's just not better to do that. It's just better to cast a preordain. Dig. Dig and Doomsday. I really don't think we're in a spot to be playing Doomsday here. We're gonna mulligan. Ah, all right. Okay. Okay. Okay, deck. I see you. I see you. I feel like the things I've done have been... I mean, we're just gonna get wastelanded and lose the game. Like, I have to preordain for lands there. I just keep drawing the same bad cards. Necro is much better than the new Necro. What? How is that a question? Oh, why do I feel like I'm being trolled? I must be being trolled, yeah? Nettlesis, that's a clock. I mean, we might be taking a quick O2 outing here. And Wasteland. Okay, all right. We go next. Okay, this is a good... It gets a lot better post-board because we get to, you know, take out Fluster Storms and Mental Misstep and bring in negations and sabotages and Mindbreak Traps and all kinds of goodies. What else do I take out in this? I forget. I have it. That's not the one I was looking for. I'm out of shape, chat. I feel like it was very specific cards. All right, found it. I found it. My notes. I feel like I wasn't bringing in removal spells, and I was just bringing in. I already got the Foster Storms and the Mental Misstep. This Daze is unnecessary. And the Necro. Okay, that's what I thought. Just making sure. All right, I'm going to take the bad cards out. The cards I just talked about and all the cards I drew. Good cards in. Looking for a nice... okay. It's definitely a hand I'm keeping. Yeah. I lost, so... Yeah, that's a big old it's another sweet YouTube comment. That is one of my favorite comments because it's on a video where I'm just talking about how I was really happy with how I played Doomsday, going 5-3 in a $500 entry fee tournament, and they're like, "It sounds like you weren't ready for this." What? What? I wasn't ready for this. I like top eighted a challenge and like had a 70% win rate over 9 leagues, and they're like, "I don't think you're ready for Doomsday." uh, I mean, yes and no. Like half the people I played in leagues were people testing for the event, so like it's not really noise. It's only noise if you don't know how to look at the games and understand like what's going on. I feel like leagues are noise is like one of the worst copy pastas that's perpetrated between the grinder community because it just lacks so much nuance. Like if you can't get anything out of leagues, that's a you problem. Like, will some league matches be not good testing? Yeah, of course. Would playing with a good opponent over and over again be better? Of course. Oh, I guess I don't have to do this now. Whatever. I'm just doing it now. Oh, I drew the one Lotus. Damn it. That would have rewarded me for Ancestraling on my turn, but I would have overdrawn, so it would have been kind of bad. Ah, the Vexing Bobble. Brutal. Too funny. Just Vexing Bobble? That's bold. And I drew Force after, and I have Gush in my hand. Man, okay. Look at them. Okay. All right. Ponder. Gataxian Probe, Mind Break Trap, another Ponder. I think I just take the other Ponder, fetch and Ponder. I think Vexing Bobble is, yeah, pretty bad. Pretty overrated card, but it's not that bad. It's okay. Oh, I should, yeah, whatever. This is fine. Don't need 2 Doomsdays here. Now I'm ready for my opponent to play Sphere of Resistance. Bobble's so good. I love Bobble. Oh man, too funny. And pass is crazy. It's so crazy, man. I guess I'm probably not casting. Can I just win? Does this sphere just let me win here? I have a Doomsday and a Gush and I pay. No, I'm not. I can't win immediately. I have Force backup for Archive Trap. So I could just cast a Doomsday here and pass the turn. Seems fine. It's just crazy that this Vexing Bubble is seeing play. Oh man. Let's see. What do I really want here? I feel like I want one Oracle, one Time Walk, maybe a Steel Sabotage. I'm not gonna cast a Gush here. I'm just gonna pass with Force Up. I have a lot of lands. Like maybe this is just like a Street Wraith angle. Is there any way I can really lose with a first Oracle? I guess they could technically have a Dismember or something like that. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like most cards matter here is the problem. So if I go Time Walk Street Wraith, then I'm immediately at... fourth card, down to third card, down to second card, and I can play an Oracle right away. I feel like I need more lands. Maybe another land is a good one here. I feel like I should just put as many lands as I can rather than second Oracle. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Street Wraith, Time Walk, Oracle, Sabotage, Land. Maybe Land Sabotage. Maybe I'm just supposed to put 2 more lands. Can I do that? I guess I don't have any more lands, so no. So Time Walk, Street Wraith, Time Walk. Is land better than like a Jet or a Sapphire? Is Steel Sabotage better than either of those either? Not really sure. Let's go with this. I'm okay with this. Underground Sea, Last, Sabotage, Oracle, Street Wraith, Time Walk above Street Wraith, maybe. And then I Force Pitch Cruise. I still have Gush too, if I ever want a Gush. Torp Orb's not a huge deal, no. Am I gonna get Archive Trapped? They can have 2 Archive Traps. That would do it. Also a combination with Bobble, by the way. Yep. All right, you got it. Vexing Boobled. All right, 6 cards in my opponent's hand. They haven't really played anything of super value yet, but like Wasteland Sphere would be pretty good here. Strip Mine Sphere is even better. It was less about disliking Doomsday and more about disliking streaming Doomsday. But I did a lot of practicing, and I am a lot more comfortable on Doomsday now, so I don't dislike it as much as I did before. That's not even a Wasteland. What's happening? Golos. I mean, that just doesn't matter. Oh, I mean, Jewel is just like not a remotely fun deck to play, so. We did do a Jewel League though. There's a Jewel video up on my YouTube channel now. That was an adventure. Could be Mind Break Traps, yeah. Cool. I think that pile was good. I like that pile a lot. At least the front part of it. Plays around most things. Okay. Do I want 2 Delve spells here? I feel like I don't want Treasure Cruise. Maybe I put in a long. I mean, Long Goodbye is just not. Just doesn't do enough. Yeah, I mean, there's just like I understand the concept of Bobble and Golos. Like you're making sure your sphere resolves, right? But if you if you end up with both, it's just a ton of extra wasted mana. I mean, if you think Jewel is fun to play, more power to you. I think Jewel is like mostly. I mean, you think Jewel and you play Jewel and Oops, like it's a type of deck that people and some people enjoy. I'm not saying I don't get it. Like I like Pio, it's pretty closely adjacent, but I don't know. I like a deck with a little bit more agency than that. But again, that's personal preference. People enjoy Magic. People enjoy Magic in a lot of different ways. You think Oops and Jewel are different? Yeah, I don't know. Like Jewel's a little bit better because it has a plan B where Jewel or Oops has no plan B. Um, but they play pretty much the same. I don't really want to play a removal spell. I'm gonna play a removal spell on the draw, maybe. Oh, I think Jewel is almost always about the first 11 cards of the deck. What is this? I hate this chat. This is a hand you just can't keep against bizarre or, against workshops. I'm not keeping it. I'm not keeping it. Anyone who keeps this hand is wrong and a gambler. It's just not a keepable hand against a known workshop player on the draw. I'm not allowed to. You're just not allowed to ever keep this hand. If you had a force, I can see it. If you had a force, but this is a mulligan. Opponent has too many ways to stop you from hitting your mana sources. So this hand is not good. But this hand's a keep. I think we just keep. Oh man, this hand's so bad against Vexing Bobble, chat. I'm just gonna bin this Dark Ritual and just keep the 4 forces and 2 fetches and hope it goes. Please don't play a Bobble, man. I don't want to counter a Bobble here. It's a Bobble. It's a Bobble. No. It's the worst outcome. That's it? Oh, never mind. It's free. It is so incredibly free. I've never been more free. I'm gonna fetch a basic and cast Ancestral now. In case I draw Black Lotus and can play it underneath the Bobble. Okay. I don't think so. I think there's like, oh, come on now. Hello, hello. What is this? What is this? Hello, Magic Police, please. That's a lot of fetch lands. How many lands do I have? I guess I have plenty. Do I gain a lot of value by not pondering here? I guess I kind of do. Look, I almost want to just ponder and make them have to use this wasteland. That's true. We both drew 1 restricted card. I mean, we're multiple cards away from ever casting a Doomsday, especially with a wasteland in play and no more basics. New cards, Justin. What are you saying? I'm playing Doomsday. No new cards. Just broken cards. I literally won the last challenge with brand new cards in a brand new archetype. Can I play a real deck one weekend? Is it fine? Can I? Is it allowed? Mercy, please. Oh. Some people like the real deck content more. But if I'm winning the challenge with it, isn't it also a real deck to Jordan? Is Blue Black Rescaminator not a real vintage deck? The deck felt really good, by the way. I think it's good. I did get we do have some more fun dono content coming up because next week is Senpai week, and also Mitchell messaged me and wanted to see the Sean ring deck played. So we got some cool things coming up next week. Well, I think the frog is the key point to Jordan. Like that the frog is so good. It's a deck on its own. So it's like it's a ring control mana drain storm thing that Sean plays. It's some nonsense that has a bunch of good cards in it, so it works. It'll be fun. I guess Andreas has given us some time here to think about what we want to do with this turn. I'm gonna pass and just go for an Undercity Sewers and see if my opponent will just wasteland that. I don't feel like I need to hit 2 mana next turn. I don't know. I'm really not sure because like if I fetch a wasteland, if I fetch an Underground Sea here, they wasteland it, but then they're stuck not doing anything, and I'm still casting Ponder, right? But then I don't have the ability to Ponder with a fetch land up and like only keep 1 card, so I kind of hate it. I could always like not fetch the Undercity Sewers and just wait, which is probably even better. You don't really need to blink a ring. Like, if you just resolve a ring, most of the time you're winning. They did print a new Mystic Forge that I need to try. It's a blue Mystic Forge from Assassin's Creed. I don't know. Like, you can make your deck more easy to cast. You can do things to cast blue. Like, Mystic Forge is a card worth, like... It's a card worth bending over backwards to try to cast, right? Like, it's broken. Mystic Forge is unbelievably good. And it makes another blue mana, so... I don't know. I don't mind. I know people have strong opinions on Universes Beyond, but for me, it's not a huge deal. Mystic Forge is unbelievably good because you cast it off of Workshop. Like, yes, that's why it's broken. But, like, the effect of Mystic Forge and Future Sight and all of those cards, like, it's like super strong, right? I went out of my way to like hook up reality chips and people have cast Future Sights in the past in older formats, so Inventor's Fair. So if my opponent casts something here that I need to counter, like a Crucible of Worlds, what am I pitching? Am I pitching Force? Seems likely. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how I would do it because blue casting costs with Workshop in your deck is not easy. You have to like Relic of Sauron and stuff. I mean, I already got the Universes Beyond set that I was most interested in. I was really surprised that they were able to get Lord of the Rings, but that was the one that I was most interested in, and I think it was pretty awesome. So I don't even know what like my next existing IP that I would want in Magic is. I'm not even sure. Maybe like Final Fantasy 14. Null Rod resolves. Resolves. Absolutely. I love when there's Null Rods against Jewel, or against Doomsday, I should say. I also love when there's Null Rods against Jewel, but oh man. I drew another Underground Sea, so I'm almost out of fetchables, right? I have 1C, 1C, and 1 Sewers. Gotta be careful here. I definitely don't want those magic cards. Damn. Or is there value in a Dark Ritual? I think with the number of lands I have, there really isn't. I don't really want any of these cards. Oracle's not bad here, though. I'm definitely going to fetch, and then I'm going to fetch, and then I'm going to fetch, so I don't draw more one of my things. Saga is great here, though. Does that mean they're not going to wasteland me, though? Oh, yeah, that's not happening. That's illegal. All right, any demonic consultations on the top of the deck here? Ponder is fine. Steel Sabotage, Street Wraith. I think I'm okay with keeping a Steel Sabotage. Like, I really do want to counter another Crucible. I do need to find cards that matter, though. And currently, those are not cards that matter. Maybe I'm just not supposed to find Steel Sabotage. It buys me a lot of time, though. Okay. They have another land to make construct tokens, or are they just going for wasteland here? They have another land. It's pretty unfortunate. I don't really feel like I want Street Wraith. I guess I want Street Wraith if I eventually have a Doomsday. And we are at the point where we can start resolving Doomsdays. How many hits of this am I going to take before... I guess I need to fetch both of these because I could get needled. Ugh. Oh, yeah. I think the Undercity Sewers is good, especially in this deck. But it was good in the Reanimator deck as well. This is a challenging spot because I just don't have good cards. I mean, Undercity Sewers costs $1 million. It's like a $15 card in paper. I bought it for paper vintage and I was so sad. Yeah, it costs so much. All right. So they can't get a mana producing thing here anyway. So they might just needle Street Wraith. So maybe I just have to Street Wraith now. God, oh, they got Vexing Bobble. Okay, that's fair. That makes sense here. I'm just gonna bounce this. I feel like it buys me the most time. Ancient Tomb. Okay. All right. Can I get a Demonic Consultation? A Vampiric Tutor? Preordain could do it. Yeah. Demonic Consultation. Demonic Consultation. Demonic Consultation. Doomsday. I mean, I guess we're doing that. But I can't gush for the win anymore. So this is going to be a little tough. So I'm going to go 15 down to 8. No, 7. I can't actually Street Wraith at all. I mean, Oracle Console is not very different than just casting Ancestral, right? So there's no reason to ever make an Oracle Console pile, in my mind. Well, I mean, it doesn't do anything right now. All right. I mean, I'm gonna go for this. I just don't think I'm allowed to Street Wraith. So I'm just gonna have to pass the turn into a Ancestral and hope I don't get Wasteland plus Sphere, or even like Trinisphere. Like it's definitely ancestral and another land. But like after that, I don't know exactly. Why not Gush? Why not Gush, chat? Why not Gush? I mean, it's probably a time walk. It's probably ancestral time walk. Land. No, stop saying consult, chat. There's no reason. There's no reason. Maybe a dress down is actually interesting here. Is it a higher chance to win if I cast Doomsday? Because I would go to 10. I would be able to Doomsday Street Wraith. But I can't like break into a pile and like cast a Lotus or anything, so I don't think so. Because like there is a Null Rod Bauble in play. I'm thinking Ancestral Time Walk, Dress Down, Island, plus something. Don't know what the plus something is. I like the idea of Dress Down here, though. But I don't want to cast Dress Down. Oh, I don't think we can do a fetch land because we're gonna go to 7 and they have a construct token here. I'm like pretty worried about putting a fetch land in the pile. I feel like I'd rather just put an island in the pile. I don't really know if this next card is going to matter much. Maybe I'll just put an Oracle as my last card in case something bad happens. Like I have to cast Oracle and block or something. Done. They could have like mental. I can't really have mental misstep. Last card Oracle. This card Island. Ancestral Dress Down Time Walk. Ancestral Time Walk Dress Down. Ancestral Dress Down Time Walk. Something like that. Send it. Oh, yeah. This Ancestral still lets me play a 3-drop, right? No matter what. So, should be fine. If I don't get hit for 5, I could always use this Street Wraith. Ah, that's a sphere. So I'm still good here, though, right? This is Ancestral, into land, Oracle. Yeah. Sweet. Cool. All right, on to round 3. Possible Dredge opponent. Our hand doesn't make mana, so we're gonna mulligan. Yep, I'm gonna keep it. This one is technically a kill, right? So I can go Dark Ritual Doomsday, Street Wraith into Black Lotus Ponder, Ponder into Ancestral, Ancestral into Sapphire Oracle, cast Oracle and win if my opponent has no interaction. I'm gonna hit done and just snap this off. Yeah, I mean, of the ones I've played, Carnforge was probably the worst. I'm hoping my opponent just has no interaction here on their 7-card Bizarre Keep, but we'll see. I don't really think that Dredge is that bad, Jordan. I know that you think it is, but I think Dredge is totally fine. It's just like more based on which weekend to play. I don't think Dredge is a bad deck by any means. All right, well, I'm going to go for it and see what happens. Hopefully I have mental misstep. Okay, so from this point, am I street wraithing to try to find a force or a daze? Probably. Well, I mean, we had data, and Dredge was like a 49% win rate deck or whatever. Like, it's fine. And it was winning some random challenges here and there. Dig. That's not a very good one. Don't think we're winning this game. Kind of needed that to work out. I don't really know that, like, waiting helps me there. But maybe I could have tried waiting. Quadruple hollow one. I mean, we're definitely gonna die now. I don't know. Like maybe you could wait there for one turn, but it wasn't like I was gonna cast Ponder, right? Because I needed Ponder to. I guess I don't need Ponder to win on the spot in the second turn. So if I cast Ponder there and find a Force or something, then on the second turn I can win with Force backup. So maybe I am just supposed to wait one turn there, and that was like way too early to fire off. The more I think about it, the more it seems kind of reasonable that I should have waited. It runs into it doesn't like because my opponent is 100% going to Dredge on the next turn. It's not like it runs into them drawing more interaction. Gosh, huh? So Street Wraith, Fetchland. That's true. That's true. They could hit a bunch of therapies considering they're playing bridges. So I guess if they had hit therapy here, it would have been extremely bad for me. That's a pretty good reason to go for it. And they're not like guaranteed to have interaction in their hand just because they kept a 7. Like they have to keep any 7, right? I don't think we're at liberty here to be street wraithing, considering my opponent has 4 power in play and an Icarid, so at least 7 damage. I feel like these are not the cards we're looking for. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna play a fetch land, and I'll go for an end step under City Sewers, and hopefully we hit like, oh, sorry, it's even more damage. 3, 6, 9, 10. I died a double Creeping Chill here. They've already used how many? 1. So yeah, I can hit. There's 1. Oh, what up next? So if they don't hit a Creeping Chill on their Dredge 6 for turn, then we can go for an end step under City Sewers, gush into a win, possibly still, maybe. Oh, actually no, because this is costing a fetch, so we actually can't win with Doomsday anymore. We would have to win with Oracle Consults. This is a very good Dredge draw. 7 cards, Golgari, Grave Troll, and Force. Oh, we dodged it. They did hit a therapy, though. But we do have a mental misstep. But I'd have to not get an Undercity Sewers. Interesting. Yo, what's up, readers? Welcome. Playing some vintage. Dredge versus Doomsday right now. Round 3 of the challenge. 3, 6, 9, 10. I go to 10. Yeah, but so like I have to crack this fetch no matter what. So I'm no longer able to win with Doomsday. So I have to hit Oracle Console, which is still possible. Yeah, there's no way they would name Gush. That seems extremely unlikely. It would always, but they don't have to name Doomsday though. So what do you name in that case? You don't have to name Force. Like they might name Gush. Maybe they name Oracle. We also have a draw of like Black Lotus Dig Through Time. I wouldn't name. I mean, Gush isn't as far off as you would think, just because I'm not going to be able to Doomsday. I guess I theoretically could not fetch this Rainforest and go Dark Ritual Doomsday on the next turn. That's something that could happen. Yeah, I'm gonna let them therapy me here. I would rather get the Undercity Sewers information than cast Mental Misstep. They named Doomsday. Okay, so they did not see the line here. There's no more therapies, so Undercity Sewers, trigger. We're looking for Oracle and Consults and Black Lotus and Ancestral, not Doomsday. Preordain. So to keep Oracle Consult alive, I want to float blue off this Gush. That's fine. Float blue off this Gush, cast Gush. I still have dig through time, so there's a lot of chances here. Does my opponent still have another force? That'd be pretty crazy, right? I feel like that'd be crazy. I drew Force Fluster. Those are both dead. Okay, so I can still hit Black Lotus here. So I can still win this game off of this dig. Because I have this Preordain. My top 10 cards contained none of the cards I was looking for. So I can take Brainstorm, Jet, and still hit Black Lotus Oracle Consult. There's Consult, but I need to hit Black Lotus Oracle. Okay. I mean, we gave it a shot. I feel like the fact that we had a lot of outs there is good. Okay. Dredge, Tabernacle, and it's a good matchup. It gets better post board as well. Dredge, late line, and Tabernacle, and then Island out, and Mystical out, or sorry, Mental Misstep out, and I forget what the other cards I was taking out was. Back to the notes. That's not what I was looking for to do. I don't have a negation. A Necropotence I hate here. And then the rest is just, it's probably just Flusterstorms. We had Consult for Lotus. Hope the last card of the deck is Lotus. We know the last cards of the deck, though, so we can't do that. Why do you want to keep Island? Like, what is that doing for us? Like, playing around Wasteland? But, like, most decks aren't even playing 4 Wastelands in Dredge right now. I don't know. Like, I mean, Cruise is pretty bad, too, so I don't mind that. But I'm not sure I want to keep Island over a Fluster. I don't think Fluster is very good in this matchup, though. I really don't feel like Fluster is great here. But Fluster can help protect Leyline sometimes, so it's not, it's horrible. Yeah, I don't really want to keep Island. I don't think your reason is bad. It's a legitimate reason. Leyline. Well, I feel like I have to keep this. I cast Dark Ritual Doomsday, but what am I making a pile with? Oh, I cast Dark Ritual Doomsday, and then my pile is Land Lotus, Oracle, Land or something. I guess it's probably Fetch Land. It's Fetch Land. fetch land, preordain into a Lotus, preordain into an Oracle, cast Oracle. That might actually be worse than putting land. But I guess if I lose like both my preordains, then it doesn't work. If I get counterspelled, it is not great for me. We have ley lines, so there is upside in mulliganing this. It's like a 6-card hand already. I'm currently leaning towards mulliganing this hand. Mostly on the back of the fact that our rebound in this matchup from a counterspell on Doomsday is really bad. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I could see someone keeping it though. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan this hand. This hand has Oracle, Doomsday, Fluster, Ponder, Fetch. Isn't this hand worse? This hand is worse, right? I really don't like this hand. I like this hand less than my other hand. I'm mulligan this hand too. Yeah, this hand's much better. This hand's by far the best hand. London mulligan, people. London mulligan. Actually, this hand would be good with even without the London mulligan because you wouldn't have these two cards. But all right, I keep. They're on 5 as well. I'm just gonna keep cantrips and ancestral here. Try to protect my ley line and then go from there. I think that's better than keeping ritual or street wraith. I feel like it is. Because I can lead, if they don't vigor me in the upkeep, I can lead Strand and then Lotus, and then I can cast Ancestral at any time. I feel like you have some leeway here in mulliganing for Leyline. Like, the whole point of having Leyline on my board is this. I mean, in my opinion, my opponent is supposed to vigor me in my upkeep. That's like the technically correct way to play this, because you don't want to run into Flusterstorm. Will they do that? I don't know. I would like to play my Lotus out. More because of grief than because of Chalice, but my like I said, my line here, how many did they end up with? 5. My line here is try to get to my main phase, play my fetch land first, and then play my Lotus out, see what they do, and then I'm gonna cast Preordain. No, I might just pass. I might just Ancestral. I don't know. I didn't think all the way through. Obviously, they have negations in their deck, so I don't feel like there's a great reason to fetch before playing the Lotus, because then you don't have the ability to Ancestral in response to a Vigor if they like decided they messed up or something. Trust myself? Well, I trust myself to think about all the possible lines and pick the best one. I think it's important to find all the different choices and then choose and then do the trusting. Like, if they negate this Lotus, then what are we doing? I feel like I'd cast Ancestor on my turn at that point. What I'm trying to do is like get to a point where I can cast Ancestral in response to a Vigor. That's like the thing I'd like the most, which is why I'm almost interested in casting Preordain this turn and not casting Ancestral. But then, like, if I'm cracking my Black Lotus to cast Ancestral in response to a Vigor, it's, like, not actually good. That's the problem with that. And I want to cast Ancestral on my turn because I feel like there are a lot of additional plays I can make on this turn. I'm going to pass. And then I'm going to upkeep an Ancestral. Stock is whatever you feel in your heart. Stock is whatever you need to convince an opponent and make an argument. Stock is whatever your argument requires now. Fetching in my second main optimal? No, because the card we're playing around is Force of Vigor. Force of Vigor can only be cast on my turn. So now that I'm in their turn, they can no longer Force of Vigor me. And so it's not a concern. And now they can not negate my Ancestral. Another Leyline is interesting. If I wasn't going to get my Lotus Vigored. My hand's pretty bad against, or my hand's pretty good against green. My opponent just scoops? All right, okay. I would like a little more holding strong from my opponent on that one. They didn't board in Vigor. Maybe, that's possible, yeah. That is very possible. Good mulliganing. Agreed. I mean, mulliganing is a very important magic skill, somewhat underrated magic skill still, and obviously at its most important in Vintage. I'm about to beat my last record. For what? Oh. Because new is better is a big gifter. I see. Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't concede. But, you know, I'm not my opponent. They can do whatever they want. All right. How about a 7-card hand with a Force and a Leyline? That's a 7-card hand with 3 fetch lands. Thank you, deck. I'm going to put this back. Aha! Leyline. I did say Force. I didn't say blue card. I didn't say blue card. My bad. My bad. I didn't say blue card. It's my fault. It's a keep, though, right? I don't think this hand is amazing for what it's worth. Like, I have 2 of my dredge pieces, anti-dredge pieces, but I don't think this hand is crazy good. If it had a blue card, I think this hand would be very good in it, but they did keep a 7-card hand. True. Hollow one. Play more. Play more. Ah, oh, sad. All right. No Vigor plus blue card, please. Sweet. All right. I will kill your hollow one. Okay. I feel like if this is how you're going to concede with Dredge, you should probably not play Dredge. Like, you don't have a strong chance of winning this game, but you have a legitimate chance of winning this game. It's not a number that you shouldn't be playing to. Oh, man. But like again, they're 1-1 in a challenge, and maybe they have better things to do with their day. So you know you're allowed to concede and do something else at any time. You should only play Magic that you enjoy. So if you're not having fun, totally reasonable. All right, welcome back, Vintage Gamers. It is now round 4, 2-1, making a comeback. We've got the powerful Decklists across the table. Don't know what they will be playing. Lurrus, okay, interesting. Little Lurrus action. I'm gonna do the keeping of this hand, though it's a pretty redundant hand. I feel like I'm supposed to keep it. I mean, got some stuff to do. Polluted Delta. Do wish we had lands and cantrips, but hey, there's a cantrip. I feel like we have a problem here. I'm kind of interested in the idea of just casting Preordain this turn against Delta. Oh yeah, that's a top if I ever seen one. Absolutely. That is a top. Oh yes, very nice. We take those. We have to make some plans in this game. Figure out how we want to approach this, because we have options. Saga Gaming, not Wasteland. Okay. So now we don't have now we're on a clock. Ooh, please don't cast Time Walk. Please don't cast Time Walk. That's Demonic Tutor. Is that better or worse for me? I guess I should just daze this. I don't really want to daze this. I don't have to daze this, but I can't break into my pile. Maybe I can break into my pile if I vamp for a gush, but then I can't daze. Maybe. Let's see if I can break into my pile somehow. I wish I could keep my daze. If I vamp, I could vamp for I could vamp for a probe, right? But that won't get me there if I have to daze to protect it. I'm not seeing one. Dark Ritual, Demonic. No. What about vamp for a Black Lotus and go Black Lotus, Dark Ritual, Demonic? That's gonna give me an extra 3 onto 2 is 5. So then I could use my Demonic in my pile to get doesn't help me though, right? Like that's not actually helping me. I could use the Demonic beforehand to get Street Wraith, but again, that doesn't actually help me, right? I don't see it. There might be something here, but I don't see it. Because like all the ways that win without using daze are gush. And if I use daze, I don't think I have a way to directly win. I mean, I think I'm still letting this resolve and then going for a combo. I just don't know what I'm doing with it. Because I can break into my pile, but I can't win, right? If I daze. But maybe I'm just supposed to do that anyways. Like, upkeep, vamp for Lotus, play my land, play my Lotus. Oh, wait, I will have an extra land, right? Because I can go Dark Ritual. No, I won't have an extra. Yeah, I should have an extra land because my Lotus is playing my Dark Ritual and my Demonic Tutor. So maybe I'm fine. Let's find out together. Because I should have Ancestral off of blue, because I am gaining an extra land by using Vamp and Dark Ritual. All right, I think I figured it out. Vamp for Black Lotus. Play my fetch land, fetch my fetch land. Or should I not fetch my fetch land? Maybe I should have not fetched my fetch land and put the fetch land in the pile. Play a Dark Ritual. Or sorry, play Black Lotus. So do I want to break off my Black Lotus immediately? I don't have to. No, I do have to. Dark Ritual. So this gives me 5 mana, and I have Doomsday and Demonic and Daze. So I can Demonic into my pile for an Ancestral and go Lotus. Yeah, this is fine. Really weird way to go about things. And then if this doesn't work, I can actually just slam Necro, right? This is kind of a sick line. Okay, so it didn't work, but now I just slam Necro. What did they pitch? Lorien? They might still have Time Vault. So do I want a DT for Ancestral or just, I mean, Necro is better, right? This line was really good. It just took me a little while to get there for sure. All right, I'm gonna draw like a lot because I do want to win. It's at least 10, probably one more. It's a lot. I need to win on the game on the next turn here, so. That's not good. That's not good. How about stop, no, Necro, why are you like this? What is this bullshit? Necro, why, man? I feel like I don't need 2 lands. Jeez, okay. Oh boy. I gotta worry about a construct here. I guess I don't have to super worry, right? It's gonna be a 3/3, maybe a 4/4. All right, what am I even doing here? Dark Ritual, Demonic. Leaves me with 1 black, 1 blue. Pondering into a Doomsday would work, but I would lose my Ponder. But if I Street Wraith, I run the risk of dying. What about Dark Ritual, Demonic, Time Walk, and then draw 5 more cards for Oracle Land? That seems silly. Maybe I was supposed to pitch this Street Wraith for a second land, because I lost a bunch of my lands. I mean, I knew I wanted blue card force, and I knew I wanted demonic, and I thought I wanted consult and ritual and land. The only one I guess I didn't put maybe enough thought is the street wraith over another land. Well, the problem with pondering for first is I lose out on my force, but I might just not need my force. The problem is I'm not going to get another turn, though. Yeah, I might not get another turn. I mean, I'm losing in two ways, right? I'm losing to Vault, and I could be losing to Constructs as well. I don't think my opponent has another force. I think they have a Time Vault, but they could have, maybe they demonic for a force. I'm not really confident that an Oracle landline works after I got rid of Island Underground Sea here. But I guess I can still, I mean, like, if I Street Wraith, then I'm only going to get to draw 3 off of my demonic Time Walk line as well. I could consult for Doomsday, Dark Ritual Doomsday down to 3, and Street Wraith for Gush for the win if I don't hit Gush on my consult, which seems tough, especially with Doomsday being a 3 of now. I'm gonna guess Ponder. I mean, if they have Bowmaster, I'm also just dead on the spot, so that's another thing. Looks like they have something. I don't really know if I have a small inclination that I didn't play this well. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the line was just Ritual, Demonic, Time Walk. Okay, I mean, that's like the best possible ponder, right? It found a Doomsday, so I go Dark Ritual Doomsday with a Street Wraith, and I go to 1. I can't force anyways, so I mean, seems like what we want. We're going to 3, and we have a Street Wraith to break into the pile, so I think we're fine. Our pile can't play around anything, but that's okay. Street Wraith to break into Gush Oracle, and then all the cards after that don't matter. There's no way to play around anything. What about removal? Can we play around removal? Gush into... See if we can play around removal. So if I Street Wraith down to 1 into a Gush down to 2, and then I can preordain. Can I do 2 preordains? Do I have a land drop to give? I have a land drop to give, right? So I could go preordain. Street Wraith down to 4 cards. Gush down to 2 cards. Land and Lotus. Preordain. It's turn 3. I played a land, so I can't do that. So does it not matter then? I guess we can put a Flusterstorm somewhere in the pile, but that, like I said, doesn't actually matter. Actually, not really, because I can't draw that. Everything loses to anything. I'm just gonna... I guess I could put one preordain, but then I would have to get another mana. Well, I have a winning line. I'm just like trying to figure out if there's like anything I can play around. I'm just not going to. It's because I have no life to like Street Wraith or anything. I can't get down to 0 cards. So I'm just gonna put some dead cards that are Heidi on the bottom. I think they don't have anything, but I almost accidentally hit my Necropotence there. Oh, they have Dress Down? Oh, no. Okay. If they had Dress Down, was there a way I can actually play around Dress Down? I don't think so. Let me think about that. Because Dress Down would mean they wouldn't have a construct, but it means I won't be able to draw cards. So the answer is no. Because I couldn't even get like Demonic out. Oh, I guess I can't. No, because I won't have the floating mana. So it'd be Oracle on the bottom. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that one. Like obviously the first 3 cards are forced. You have you're forced into the play that was made, in my opinion. You're forced into that play. It's just like, can you do anything else besides that? It didn't really feel like I could. But also, that might not be the case. So we're playing against Lurrus Saga. Well, I couldn't like draw into extra counter magic anyways. Like the most I can do. I guess that's not true. I could have gone. No, because it's Street Wraith. Because it's Street Wraith into Gush, I can't actually go like Street Wraith into Gush into Ancestral because then my Ancestral overdraws. So, I don't think I can even get like a 1-mana counterspell. I did have a Spell Pierce in my deck at one point over a Flusterstorm, but I switched back to Flusterstorm because I don't think there's enough Jewel to warrant a Spell Pierce. I think Jewel has fallen off a bit, so... Okay, I'm going to bring in Long Goodbye and Fatal Push and Dress Down. And I'm going to take out Vampiric Tutor and Mystical Tutor and Daze, even though Daze was very good in that game. And Daze, and then there was a 4th card. I think I was just trimming a Preordain, if I recall correctly. Oh, I might have been boarding in 3 cards because I didn't have the Shield Red before. All right. Yeah, I think I did what I had to do. I just don't know. I don't... With the constraints on my life total and there being a Necropotence, I don't think there was a way to do anything additional, so... But there might have been. We'll see. The YouTube comments will usually find that for me. Another Necropotence, huh? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep this hand. I don't think it's particularly enticing, but... I like keeping 7 against my opponent's deck. Turn 1 Bowmaster would be pretty annoying. Turn 1 Frog is really bad for me. That card is so good. Yeah, turn 1 Frog is real good here. Not a good sign. I think I'm going to fetch a basic and cast Ponder. Frog is so good. This card is just... Oh, man. It's a nightmare for me. Turn 1 Frog off of On Color Sapphire. What a beast. Force and Doomsday. That's interesting. I just have to not get wastelanded? No, I can't because I fetched a basic island. Mother. I mean, we're gonna... We want all of these things, really. All right. I guess we can decide if we want the preordain or not. I guess we won't be able to decide. We would, because if we want a time walk, then we have to fetch. This Necro is so bad. I just wish I never... I mean, Necro won us that last game, didn't it? The problem is we have to play through like the deck with the most counter spells in it. Oh, they pitched a wasteland to the frog? What a beast. Wild. You don't see me pitching wasteland to frog here, but... Pitch 2 wastelands to frog? Oh, what a beast. I can't... And a bobble? We're going for the wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Like, that's wild. They're putting me on the clock, though. Maybe they have a time walk and they have a saga. Okay. Well, I'm gonna crack a fetch and time walk. And then I'm going to do something. I drew another Doomsday? Ah, deck, please. This is just a mill with Undercity Sewers and dig through time on their upkeep. Still a winnable game, but not a good spot. Lose our time walk as well. Just drawing triple Doomsday or triple. Oh wow, these hands are bad. This long goodbye would have actually been good if my opponent hadn't played a saga there. We might still be taking it, all things considered here. Well, if they don't have a wasteland, and they did pitch 2 wastelands, we could technically just take Underground Sea plus Preordain as a winning line with Doomsday. So it's probably just that, and just hope my opponent doesn't have anything. They pitched 2 wastelands. I mean, they have a 3rd wasteland, right? There's no way you pitch all your wastelands against Doomsday. Wasteland is like one of the single best cards against Doomsday. I mean, maybe their hand is like 3 counters. I mean, even if their hand's 3 counter spells, like, wouldn't you not still... They pitched a saga. And they're going for the jugular. I respect it. Yeah, they had triple wasteland. Okay. Now I need to draw Dark Ritual. 3 mana by Lurrus? What is 3 mana doing here? Oh, it's dig through time. Down to 1 card? All right, so we can just force this. I'm dying on the next turn to this frog. Because, oh, if I had taken long goodbye, I would actually be winning from here. If I had taken long goodbye, I would have been able to just kill this frog because they didn't make a construct. That's crazy. Oh, man. I didn't think that would be the case. All right, Dark Ritual is a winning play here. Flusterstorm. Now I need to preordain into the Fatal Push. Or a Oracle. Ah, man. Whoa, no, man. Come on. So I can still go Necro into Fatal Push. Is this my fault? Should I have just taken long goodbye instead of trying to find a Doomsday win? Like, I could have just taken long goodbye preordain and tried to hit Maybe it's just my fault. All right, I'm gonna use all my life here. I need to find exactly the fatal push. Maybe I can go to 2, so I can still Doomsday. Kind of feel like I'm not supposed to do. All right, I'm gonna leave myself at 2. All right, fatal push, fatal push, fatal push, fatal push. Nope. Fatal push, fatal push, fatal push. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I certainly had choices in this game. Should I bring Daze back in on the play? Mm. I don't know. It made a lot of sense in my head to try to play the combination that would win the game, but it also made sense in my head that there would be a third wasteland because you don't just pitch 2 wastelands and not have a third wasteland, right? Like you would always pitch 1 wasteland if you had 1 wasteland. I mean, I don't think I would pitch any wastelands to be perfectly honest. I think I'd just be wastelanding the whole game. But I should have expected a third wasteland, and in that case, my best 2 cards to choose were. But the problem with the long goodbye is that my opponent is most likely going to make a construct, right? So like the long goodbye isn't even good if my opponent just makes a construct. I don't think it was correct for them to even play the dig through time. Maybe it was fine. Like I was so surprised that they cast dig through time. I mean, Doomsday is not beating triple Wasteland Hand in most games. The game was just very odd because of the way my opponent chose to play it out with like a very big tempo frog. I don't really like that choice from my side of the table, but it looks like they had no forces, right? So it made sense. But in that case, wouldn't you play Bobble out? Like they both didn't play Bobble out and got rid of 2 Wastelands. I don't know. It was a weird game. I'd love to see it from their side of the table. Cool game. This matchup is tough. And Frog is great. Fatal Push, Time Walk, Sapphire. Okay. I feel like this is basic island, Sapphire, Time Walk, untap, fetch land, Undercity Sewers. I guess I could technically hold the Time Walk, but I kind of want to get out to a mana advantage. How about Ancestral Recall off the top? Seems like a reasonable card to draw. Thassa's Oracle certainly has options. That's possible. Pass. Definitely interested in the sewers here. Mental misstep. Kind of just want action. A pause here makes me think they have Ancestral on my upkeep. No, Brainstorm though. Brainstorm looks sick here. Should I cast it now? I think so. These cards kind of stink. Dark Ritual land back and just fetch probe, maybe? Negation, Demonic, Saga, Pierce, Wasteland, Dig. Okay. That is awkward. Our hand, if we draw console, is real good against that. Saga Gaming. Cast Demonic. Feel like we have to just let that resolve, right? What are we really doing about this? We just don't have enough draw spells. Where are our cantrips? I guess I did trim 2 cantrips for what it's worth. This would maybe be a cantrip. We drew Demonic Tutor for console. So they can have double counter now if they got force. So I feel like we should just cycle this Street Wraith. See if we can find a blue card. Not ideal. If they just negate this. If they negate this, should we just force back and get an Ancestral? Do we think that the last card they tutored for was another force? Kind of do. This stupid Fatal Push. Kind of just rotting in my hand. Yeah, that's probably true. I think they got force with their demonic. That seems like the way they play this. In that case, though, wouldn't we just want the demonic to resolve and then just counter what I play off the demonic? Yeah, force pitch spell pierce. Okay, so they have 1 unknown plus wasteland with Saga active. I have some time to be built with this fatal push. I just want to draw cantrips. I don't think they're gonna wasteland me. Oh, well, now they're gonna wasteland me. They drew Mox off the top. So I can't draw a Doomsday anymore. All right, 1 unknown active Saga. We have removal for a construct, not both constructs. Shieldred's a good draw. I immediately drew Doomsday. I think we should play this Jet out in case they get a bobble. Our DT got double forced. I'm not gonna push this until they decide what to do with their Saga. Yeah, the basic island was bad. Agreed. If I had An underground sea here. I could just cast Doomsday. Be pretty winning. Yeah, they did go for Bobble. Okay. This is still winning with fetch off the top. We drew a cruise. Bobble doesn't stop cruise. Shouldn't need this. Fetch. Yep, use Bobble, look for a force. All right, that's winning. It's winning. Okay, got there. No problem. We're going to 6. They used the Bobble, so we're not beating Misstep. So our best play is just Ponder into Ancestral into Black Lotus, Oracle. We have no second Oracle, so there's no rebuy. So we would put Flusterstorm in here. Ponder, I guess Ancestral is just like Ponder, Ancestral, Lotus, Oracle, Fluster. But we want to be able to rebuy. So I don't feel like there is a good rebuy pile. If they had like Mental Misstep as their last card. Well, if they had Mental Misstep, they would have countered Jet. So we probably don't even need to play around that. But if their last card is Mindbreak Trap, then we want to have another card underneath. So I think we just put Gush into the pile with Ancestral. So Ancestral, Gush, Lotus, Oracle. And maybe a Time Walk. Ancestral, Gush, Lotus, Oracle. Maybe we buy a rebuild pile, but any rebuild pile is not going to work anyways because they'll have Mindbreak Trap for Oracle, right? I guess they could technically have Force for Oracle. Ancestral Gush is like so bad together here. I'm not like sure if any of it matters. I guess I have a Daze, don't I? But again, that doesn't actually matter. I'm pretty bad at this last, like trying to squeeze value. I guess what I could do is Ancestral, Dress Down, Lotus, Oracle, and then last card, Ritual. So then Ancestral gets countered on we take a hit on our next turn. We can Dress Down. I need a Time Walk in this pile too, huh? Or I guess Ancestral would put me down to 1 card, so then I wouldn't be able to Dress Down. So maybe it doesn't matter. Long Goodbye. Ancestral, Long Goodbye. Oracle, Ritual, and Lotus. Is that silly? Ponder, Ancestral into Lotus, Long Goodbye, Oracle. And then I have Ritual, Doomsday, Rebuy. And Long Goodbye could kill my Oracle. Probably something like this is fine. Dark Ritual on the bottom. And then Lotus. And then Oracle, Long Goodbye, Ancestral. Ponder. Ancestral, Lotus, Oracle. So in this case, if something were to like, say they mind break trap my Oracle, I can take a hit from this construct, go to my next turn, long goodbye the construct, and cast Doomsday. I guess that's worse than just putting a cantrip here. So that's worse. Damn. Okay, so this should just be a cantrip. Oh yeah, I guess I can't win if they mind break trap my Oracle. If they were to force my Oracle, no, that doesn't do anything either. So maybe there's just like nothing I can do. I just like Fluster doesn't do anything either, right? I guess like if they just held a mind break trap the whole time all the way to my Oracle, then the Fluster is good. Yeah, but like, is that really something I'm supposed to be building a pile for? So like, so yeah, so it would be Ancestral, Lotus, Oracle, Fluster, which was the first pile, right? That was the very first pile. I guess it can be Dazed too. Doesn't need to be Fluster. That was the very first pile. I was more worried about like there's also like the possibility of mental misstep. Like they didn't mental misstep my Dark Ritual, but then they mental misstep my Ponder. But that would still be fine unless well they'll know there's Ancestral, so they could wait for Ancestral, mental misstep Ancestral. That's my fourth card down. I get hit. I go to 3 cards. What did I have after Ancestral here? I had Long Goodbye. So then I could like this pile beats if my opponent has mental misstep on Ancestral, right? Because I could Long Goodbye the construct token and then on the next turn Oracle. That's not very good though. I mean, it at least plays around that mental misstep part of it, but it's probably better to play around the mental misstep part of it by putting another draw spell in. Well, you don't want to do a Gush or and Daze together. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of things that do very similar things here. I'm not sure it matters too much. Okay, welcome. We're continuing our comeback tour here. 3-1, 2 more rounds to go. Looking for 2 more wins to get into top 8 here. On the play, Dark Ritual, Demonic, Ponder, Force, Fluster. Yeah, I'm just going to keep this and Ponder. Looking for land drops mostly, but also cantrips. If this was a fetch land, I would consider maybe passing with a fetch land up. There's definitely not a lot of reason to go like Dark Ritual Demonic for something. So this hand is like it's good, but it has some serious weaknesses, especially if like Ponder misses on lands and then we get wastelanded. But feels hard to put this back. It's a lot because we have the non-fetch in play, right? So far, this has gone pretty well. I feel like the basic things that we've done have been good. I haven't been super happy with like my 4-5 card try to 100% piles, but everything else has been okay. And the one round we lost, it felt like we made the right choices and just lost. So Force and Fetch and Street Wraith. So I want all of these cards. What order do we want them in? I guess we want Force. And then Fetch and then Street Wraith. We're always going to want... I mean, we don't really need another Force, so I guess we could theoretically put the Force third down and have Street Wraith Scalding Tarn on top. On our next turn, we're looking to do something like... We don't think we have a win on the next turn, but we have a win on the following turn with Street Wraith. I guess yeah. I don't think we need this force is my conclusion. And we want to have the Street Wraith first in case they do something where we need to cycle. Like if they played, I don't know, Spirit of the Labyrinth. Like we're going to want to crack away that force if my opponent wastelands me, right? Well, we're like forced to draw the for oh my am I gonna get punished? Oh no, I'm gonna need that force. I assume this is Jewel, right? All right, so we're definitely going to need that force. So maybe we should just Street Wraith. The problem now is even with double force, I don't have a deterministic Doomsday line, right? If I use my Street Wraith. I guess I can wait and just hold up Force Fluster, and then I could always Wraith into the thing, and then on the next turn, if I don't use my Wraith, then I can... Well, I still don't have a line there either. Building a slow pile against an active Urza Saga is a bit of a risk, isn't it? But we could always draw a cantrip on our next turn as well. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that for what it's worth. I'm just like acknowledging the downsides of taking the line. What if they just don't make a big move and they just make Saga tokens? Are we okay? Might just be okay. I like this matchup a lot, but Jewel is a powerful deck and you can still very easily lose. Force pitching PO. Force pitching Fluster. Interesting that my opponent would force Demonic Tutor when they should be trying to protect their own stuff. But typically anyways. Let's see, maybe they just jam a Jewel here. I'm hoping they jam a Jewel here. I would rather them not make a construct. Because I'm not sure how the math is going to work out if we go for a slow Doomsday. We go to 8. And the construct's going to be pretty large. I'm just hoping they jam something. Obviously, if we just draw a cantrip next turn, it's fine. We just win. But... And we do have a lot of those in our deck. Yeah, I'm hoping I can go to all 3 Eternal Weekends is my plan, but we'll see. Okay, so it's just construct tokens. All right, please cantrips. Cantrip, cantrip, cantrip. That's not exactly. We don't just do that. How would you like us to do that? If we force something, then we could have done that. So if I Dark Ritual and I play Doomsday, my opponent makes a 3/3, they make a 4/4, they make a 5/5. Yeah, I mean, see what happens. If I have to force to get this Doomsday through, I'm actually at a way less, right? I'll be at a 7. I think we're gonna die to a construct is my feeling deep inside. I guess I don't have to force, right? Because I have Flusterstorm. If they have a force here. Could also make them tap out. I kind of want them to have a force, actually. Fluster looks really good here. Please force. No. All right. So, I mean, my pile is... So they can have a Vexing Bauble in their deck, right? That's a possibility. So my pile needs to include a land. My pile is Ancestral Recall with an Oracle in the pile and a land in the pile. But what else matters? Does anything else matter? I think we should put a Lotus in the pile too. And then I'll put like last card extra Oracle. So this would be untap Ancestral into Black Lotus land Oracle. If they have a Vexing Bauble, we can just go land Oracle. And if they don't, we have Black Lotus double Oracle. Oh no, we don't have that. Because if they have a bauble, then our force is off. But then they don't have interaction at that point, right? So does it matter? I guess theoretically our pile could be Ancestral, Time Walk, Land Oracle. Could be Ancestral, Time Walk, Land Oracle. I cast Ancestral, I draw Land, Time Walk, I cast Land, Time Walk. And then I play Oracle. It doesn't really feel like that's better. Not sure it matters. Doesn't look like there will be 2 turns no matter what. Trying to figure out a way, like, what if they have their own Ancestral? Then I'm gonna have Force and Fluster. I mean, if they get a Vexing Bauble and have their own Ancestral, I probably am dying. But is there any way to really play around that? I have a Force and a Fluster. It doesn't really get much better than that. Yeah, but they're not gonna have a Dismember in the main of their Jewel deck, so I'm gonna go with this. I think there's some pros and cons. There might be a better line, but in general, this looks fine to me. Oracle on the bottom. Lotus. I guess maybe I could have done like a fetch land or something. Maybe that would have been better. Oh well, that's where we're at. Maybe second Oracle is worse than... No, I don't know. So the question is, like, do they go for a lethal construct here, or do they go for 2 turns? Looks like they're going to go for 2 turns, which might be a bad sign. It kind of depends on if they have a Vexing Bauble or not. They do have the Vexing Bauble. So now my force is off, their force is off. Coveted Jewel. But my force is off. I mean, I guess I didn't really play around them killing me. I have a Fluster for a PO, though. I guess this could just kill me with this construct, too. It's pretty brutal. Okay. I mean, I don't have a line around this, right? I'd have to hope they cast a spell that flusters. They have a Metamorph. I don't have like main deck answers to this kind of thing. I just have to hope they cast a PO. No, that's a Vexing Bauble, friend. Good try. Manival. I mean, just need to cast one more spell now. Looks pretty doomed. Trinisphere. All right. I mean, I don't think I had a way around this. I needed to draw a cantrip that turn. That was like the perfect use case for Vexing Bubble. That was the absolute best use case I'd seen for Vexing Bubble. And it worked really well. I mean, this Dig Through Time just needed to be a cantrip, right? Moving on the spot. Could I have played this game better? I ended up not using that second force. So if I had left the force and I had just kept the Street Wraith, we would have won this game, but I don't feel like I felt like getting two forces was correct. I mean, someone 5-0'd with 37 ticket Dredge, so there's that. I wouldn't recommend playing that though. I don't even like Shieldred in this matchup, which is kind of sad. I don't think it's a win traders thing. There was a person I know who plays, so like you can just play no interaction Dredge and win. Like that's a thing you could do. Negation, Trap, Null Rod, Dress Down, Steel Sabotage, maybe Shieldred. Lotus is a little bit more expensive than that now. Some things have changed price-wise. I don't really feel like we're supposed to play Misstep for Vexing Bubble. I don't think I care that much. Flusterstorms, Islands. What am I doing? None of these are the things I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, I only have 50 seconds here. Uh-oh. Can't really remember the other thing that I was looking for. It's definitely that. Then there was two more cards. It must have just been Daze and Preordain. Can't remember. Nope. 5 lands. Yep. It's fine. This is a hand where you put back Dark Ritual, or is this a hand you want to keep Dark Ritual? I feel like this is a hand you just put a land back. And then we have Ponder with a fetch land. Kind of sad about that loss, but it's a weird game. Just didn't have enough cantrips, but it was partially my fault for using my Street Wraith to get a second force, but I felt like a second force was correct because I needed to be able to force their force and force their payoff. I feel like I liked the way I played the game, all things considered. Yeah, I'm just gonna jam here. For sure. Okay, I have a force. I want my pile to be Ancestral, Time Walk, Oracle, and a land, probably again. I mean, I feel like that's the pile for sure. I like these Doomsdays. They're my favorite Doomsday. Sorry. It does break the aesthetic, I understand, but I think the art on this card is so sick. This is just like your reliable anti-counter spell pile. Oracle Last, Ancestral Walk. And none of these cards care about Vexing Bauble. Is there a better thing to do? Drawing down to 4, drawing down to 3, drawing down to 2. Yeah, I like this. Last card, Oracle. Second to last card, Underground Sea. Third card, Oracle. Time Walk, Ancestral. Pass. Nah, I just like this. This is my favorite Doomsday. I didn't buy that in paper, but Black Lotus. Okay. Workshop. Jewel with force backup? Or just Jewel? Where's your Jewel? F6. Sweet. Bobble? No. Ancestral. Target me. Cool. Easy game. Get the free Doomsday wins. Okay. Misstep? What do you want to do with Misstep? Counter Bobble? Counter Manifold? I don't really like it. I usually just play through Bobble. Don't really care that much. Shielders for Lurrus Saga mostly. And Countervine if you find it. I would like Shieldred in concept against Jewel, but Metamorph just makes it terrible. So. Oh, not like this, man. Is this even allowed to be kept against Jewel? My opponent has been keeping some slower hands. They didn't mulligan to like a strong turn 1. But I don't know, man. It's so bad. Like no counterspell on turn 1 is pretty unacceptable. Yeah, but they didn't mulligan for it. They just had a 7-card hand. Like I can't prevent that. But like game 1, they kept the Saga Mox Go. Like it was very weak hand because it had a force, I guess. I usually mulligan this kind of hand against Jewel because they're turn 1.5 deck. I'm mulligan this hand. Yeah, this hand's so much better. It's just like a million times better hand. Just gonna bottom the sewers and play a little control, and then hopefully we can go from there. They're down to 5. Okay, they kept 5. Tomb. Monolith. Pass. It's good for me. Street Wraith is fine. Delta go. Two. Top. I feel like top is fine. Do we consult for Doomsday? I don't think so. I never do that shit. Maybe that's why I'm bad. feel like this is a winning game. Consulting gives me an opportunity to lose. I think we're just going to get undersea sewers. If they don't play a thing that makes me sabotage. We're like more inclined to force than sabotage, which is interesting because of possible bobbles, but we got nothing following this up. That seems good for us. We should go to sewers. Do we want Dark Ritual? Okay, well now we will probably consult for Oracle. Or sorry, for now we will probably consult for Doomsday. We take the Dark Ritual, we fetch a land, we cast Demonic Consultation for a 4 of Doomsday. We just have to miss on Oracle. Oh, we kind of have to miss on Gush too. We have Force backup. I really don't want to cast Demonic Consultation though. Am I allowed to just keep playing? I'm like allowed to keep playing, right? Like I have Force, Sabotage, right? Like, I don't have to. I don't have to consult. I just feel like consulting is a way we can lose, whereas are we ever losing this game if we just don't cast consult? But I guess if I'm taking Dark Ritual, I'm supposed to be casting consult, right? I don't know what the math is. I think the math is supposed to be good. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass once, chat. I'll give myself a chance here. Jewel. I just feel like I'm going to win. Like, why would I make myself possibly lose for no reason? I'm the control player. I should just like wait until I'm forced to go, right? Yeah, I don't know the math. I know there is a number for like the Doomsday 4 of 2 oracles in the deck. But there's also the part where we don't win on the spot if we mill over Gush as well. I think my opponent has Force blue card in hand, is my read. Drawing a card with top, okay. Bobble. I feel like we just sabotage the bobble. They have Force backup. One card left in hand after this. I mean, I just want to counter this. Like, if they play a whatever after, I don't really care. But I want to be able to play Gush. I guess I don't need to play Gush because I have Ancestral. But I won't have the ability to play Oracle. So they drew with their top. They played a Bauble. They have a Monolith and one floating mana. The best card they can play is what? Karn. The One Ring, maybe. I want to give myself a draw step. I guess I could have Mindbreak Trap or Archive Trap. So it is a 4-cost payoff. It is a Karn. Okay. So that gets rid of Lotus. But I don't need Lotus if I consult end of turn, right? If I console end of turn, then I can just get Gush and then replay. Okay. So at the end of turn, I cast Demonic Consultation. I get Doomsday. And I hope I don't hit my Gush or something. Doomsday. 19 cards entered the revealed zone. No oracles, no Gush. I did lose Black Lotus, but we don't care. All right, this looks like we won. Dark Ritual. Doomsday. So we Street Wraith down to 4, Gush down to 2, play land Oracle and win. I don't know if that's any other cards. All right, so let's just do a double check here. I Gush, drawing. Sorry, I cast Street Wraith, drawing down to my 4th card. I Gush, drawing down to my 2nd card, drawing fetch land and Oracle. I play my fetch land after floating blue here and get another Underground Sea and play it. I mean, I don't need to do that. I can just do anything else, but I don't think it matters because they're deterministically dead with a Vexing Bauble in hand. So as long as I have Oracle in my top 3, it doesn't matter. As long as I order it, boom, 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 boom. Street Wraith, blue, Gosh. Feel like I should do this because I did it, right? Do it. Cool. Deck's broken. Okay, 4-1 on the 0-1 to 5-1 comeback, win and into top 8. We don't know what our opponent is playing in this matchup. I haven't seen my opponent before. We have Doomsday and we have a Street Wraith, but I don't know. I think this hand is just bad. No cantrips, no forces, no fetch lands, so you're bad into basically everything. I'm gonna mulligan this hand and try for better. Don't like this hand. This is better, but it also has its share of problems. What am I doing with this hand? I'm keeping this hand and then I'm bottoming a card. What card am I bottoming? I kind of want all of my blue cards, which means I have to bottom a black card, which means yeah, I mean, I'm not thrilled about the tap land, agreed. But the tap land has been good to us the rest of the day. I'm gonna keep this hand and bottom a Demonic Tutor, question mark. I feel like bottoming a Ponder is a bit gross because I would like to be able to cast a Ponder if, yeah, I'm gonna bottom this Demonic Tutor. Feels the least castable of my spells, and I want to have enough blue cards for force and that kind of thing. Polluted Delta. This is is this Doomsday then? No, Deathrite Shaman. Oh man, this matchup is tough. This matchup can be hard, and it's not good to have our tap land here. I find this to be one of Doomsday's harder matchups. Definitely one I was not looking forward to playing at NYSE. Basic Island is interesting though. Yeah, let's take a peek at what the opponent is doing here. I think the information is more valuable than my lord. Spell Pierce, Force, Oof, Liberator. I see. Let's see. Opponent just has a lot of axes where they attack. They have a bunch of counter spells. They have a quick clock. Deathrite Shaman is very disruptive, and they have wastelands. So it's just they attacking on a lot of different places. Like Collector Roof is annoying. It's not good. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's annoying. Turns off Black Lotus lines. I'm thinking about just... I'm just going to play Ponder. All right, so there's my Doomsday. So on my next turn, I have lethal. Not lethal, because if they play Collector Roof, then it's not lethal. But I mean, I'm going to cast Doomsday next turn with the ability to break in. Oh, I won't be able to break in because... well, I might be able to break in depending on how they tap. All right, yeah, I'm going to keep this Mental Misstep and Doomsday, and then we'll see what we do with that. Should be an interesting way forward here. So I guess that they don't have a land in their hand. So if they want to play a green creature here, they have to eat their land and they can't hold up in Spell Pierce. Okay. But then then we can go for if they play Oof. Oh, they had a land as well. Okay, so they have Oof with Spell Pierce backup. Okay. So this is unfortunate because we're gonna have to make a pass the turn pile, right? So this resolves. We go to my turn. We Dark Ritual. We Doomsday. They force. I force. They Spell Pierce. I Mental Misstep. It leaves me with a hand that has a land in it. And they get to draw into a blue card for force, as well as have an Oof and a Deathrite Shaman. Don't think we're losing on that pile, but there's like a lot of ways we lose to just opponent top decks a blue card and has a second force, right? Or no, they won't have a second force because we force pitch force. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. I guess the question will be if I have to fetch. So I'll have an Undercity Sewers as my only card after. Okay. Should be interesting then. So Delta C Ritual. Oh, I guess they could Spell Pierce the Ritual. Doomsday. Yeah, if they say okay to Doomsday, yeah, that would be a bit more on the annoying side. I feel like I want to save the 2 life here and cast this because I mean I know they have force, so I'm not gonna ever be able to use this Ponder anyways. There's the force. There's the force. All right, I'm going to 8. So the question is, how much can I play around? I feel like the answer is not much. We don't want to play Gush because we don't want to be able to Gush pile because we don't want to lose to Wasteland. Though I guess we might just lose to Wasteland anyways because we'll take 4/4. I don't think we're actually beating Wasteland here no matter what. No, I don't think we can. So maybe we should just play Gush so that we don't... Because I think we lose to Wasteland no matter what, right? They Wasteland us. They eat a spell out of their yard and hit for 2, and then they eat a spell out of their yard and hit for 2. But that also loses to Wasteland. I guess that we're always losing to Wasteland. I'm just trying to think of if there's a way we can have a building pile that beats a Wasteland. Ancestral is, yeah, I mean, that's the pile that I was considering. I think you can go Ancestral or Gush. You could theoretically go... I can't live a turn. I just straight up lose to Wasteland. I think no matter what, if my opponent has Wasteland, I lose because they have 4 damage, and they can kill us. My opponent sent me a Scryfall query. I don't know what that is. Maybe playing around Mental Misstep is worth it, though. So Mental Misstep pile is Time Walk. Is my 4th card. And then, wait. Why do you want to do Oracle, though? Don't I have to use my Undercity Sewers to do that? And that way I'm just milling in one of my Oracles? Isn't that bad? Like, there's a pile with Oracle, Time Walk here. Well, if we cast the first Oracle and it just resolves, but then we're just winning. I mean, it could just be a Street Wraith, right? But then there's, like, no reason to do that. I guess there's no reason not to build a Time Walk pile. Well, the reason is, I guess I still am losing to Flusterstorm Spell Pierce. All right, I'm gonna build Ancestral, Time Walk, Oracle. Ancestral, Time Walk. No, because if I get Mental Misstep, I die, right? So I can't build Ancestral, Time Walk. So it's just Time Walk. I'm just like looking for the card that blends here. I guess I can always mill my 3rd card over with my Undercity Sewers, but like that doesn't really matter. So I guess it's just Time Walk, Gush, Oracle, land. Well, I don't need a land if I have a Gush. I just don't feel like the card matters, and I'm like spending a bunch of time doing nothing is what I'm thinking is happening here. Because like if they have a counter spell or anything, I just lose. Like if they draw a Flusterstorm, a Force, a Fluster, the only thing I'm playing around is Mental Misstep here. That's fine. Whatever. I'm over it. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I got bored. I got bored. I'm sorry. Like I think we were losing to Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, and Wasteland, no matter what. So most of my choices don't matter except for Ancestral can't be right because it's just opening us up to Mental Misstep for no reason. That's the big points I got out of that. They drew Wasteland. Unbelievable. I don't think I had a single pile that beat Wasteland, so I think no matter what, we were just gonna lose there. Wasteland's so broken, man. Ugh. $5.50 or something. I don't know. Sag. Yeah, I mean, if we had a watery grave instead of a Undercity Sewers, we would win that game. For Undercity Sewers haters, that is a lost game because of Undercity Sewers. Yeah, I was thinking about Shieldred. I don't know. I can't remember what else I was thinking about though. Because I don't play Negation, which is a normal cut. I hate Necropotence in this matchup. I hate Mystical Tutor in this matchup. I don't really like Flusterstorm that much in this matchup. I don't really like Vampiric in this matchup either. Maybe I just do that. I mean, Flusterstorm is fine. It's like not bad. They have lots of counter spells, but it's probably, I don't know. I just don't really like Flusterstorm. This seems fine. Yeah. So there was a point in that game where I was thinking about playing Undercity as one of my earlier lands, but I went what? I went basic land Ponder, and then I went fetch land Doomsday, so I just didn't have a timing. But yeah, that game is like, I can't win that game because it's an Undercity Sewers and not a Watery Grave, which is the first time I think that's ever happened to me in testing. Yeah. I have drawn Undercity Sewers quite a lot in my opening hand. Yeah, I mean, it was more about I hated streaming the deck because I wasn't good enough at it to like stream the way I wanted to stream, but now it's pretty straightforward. Obviously, like the 4th, 5th card stuff is still a problem, but I'm gonna keep both of these. And I'm gonna sandbag the Lotus. Well, I think second basic island's a really bad card in Doomsday because like you want the islands, but you don't really want the islands. We did fetch a basic island and lost because of it in this game as well, but that was my fault. Like I couldn't do anything about the sewers in the last game, if I recall correctly, but I could have not fetched a basic island. That's on me, right? Is this just... Oh, Bowmaster? Sure. I'm just going to cycle this. It's kind of a little unfortunate that Cruise is my plan here, but... Ugh. I mean, Bowmasters is not the end of the world. It's just a magic card. It's annoying a little bit, but not a huge deal. Is Watery Grave better? No. If it was better, I'd be playing it. I think Undercity Sewers is fantastic in this deck, but Undercity Sewers has pros and cons. When you draw it in your hand, it's a con. when you fetch it, it's a huge plus. So it's just like evaluating when that's the thing, when that matters. Looks like my opponent has a force on my time walk. Are you serious? I'm okay with that. You got it. Uh-huh. They pitched a Psychic Frog too, which would have been a sick haymaker follow-up to this. All right, well, whatever, man. How am I ever gonna win, chat? It's impossible. My opponent is too strong. This is a classic bug player. Average bug draws. They don't need the Psychic Frog because they have an Ancestral, No problem. And now they're going to play a Collector Roof to hit my Black Lotus. Like what? Like what? What? Oh, dress down. Hold up. Wait a minute. Force. Okay, so we keep the force on top and we go to our next turn, or we go to end step when we play a dress down and then we untap and just do as much as we can. Or are we just supposed to bottom the force? Oracle can't win through dress down on the same turn, but we can time walk or something. But like, I want to do a turn where I use my Black Lotus and don't get pinged by Bowmaster. I just like don't think I want this force though. I don't graveyard this force. But I still want to go end step dress down, so hopefully they play another oof. Oh no! They're so good. Okay, so I can consult. I can consult for a Doomsday, and I can Doomsday. Gosh, time walk. Is it possible? Demonic for a consult for a Doomsday, and then use my 2 lands to dress down. Dark Ritual Doomsday, probe into Gush, play land, probe into Gush, Gush into land, time walk, and then kill them? If they have nothing? If they have absolutely nothing, I think I have a win then? I feel like I have to go for it. Like, what am I doing at this point, right? Just play an oof or something. Sure. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for that. I think the plan I had in my head works. If it doesn't work, then oh, it doesn't work, right? Because of the Undercity sewers. No, because I'll have a yeah, because my Sapphire will be turned back off. So if I were to make my play, I mean, I also would have to like not hit my Gush. I'm just gonna go for the draw spell line instead. Fetch. I'm at 9. Is there any upside to probing? Not really, right? Oh, there is an upside to probing because I want to keep Black Lotus and Time Walk. Can I use a blue? I feel like I can use a blue. They got nothing, but we have nothing. Help! 3 cards! Oracle wins? No, Oracle doesn't win. Maybe it might win on the next turn, actually. I just drew nonsense. All right. I guess I was not destined to top 8 this tournament. Oh, Shieldred. Can I get this in play? I can't, right? I don't have enough mana. How much am I taking? One. Fuck. I'm just taking too much damage, right? I'm taking 2, 4, 5, activate, down to 3, play my land, play Shieldred, down to 1, and I die because I don't have any draw spells. I could consult for Ancestral. I don't feel like I have any good choices. But I could win the game if I just draw Oracle next turn. Because it wasn't a win. Just trying to figure out which line gives me the most chance of winning. If I just hold my console, I can draw 2 Oracles. But if I consult for the 1 Gush... I can't ever use this jet if I don't use it now. We still have a cantrip. Let's say, hold on. 1, 2. There's still a possibility. Well, if I play a Shieldred, active player, non-active player, I might die to my own Gush next turn, right? I'm taking 4. I'm going to 5. I'm going down to 3. I Gush. I take 2 and then gain 2. No, I might be okay actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 5, down to 3. I mean, the problem is like I might not hit my Gush and I might not be able to win the game if I hit my Gush. Like all of those things mean I'm not 100% to win either. I think I'm just gonna pass. I'm trying to draw an Oracle next turn and win. It doesn't work. You have not correctly made. Come on, bro. I know your hand. It's just fucking. All right, it's okay. I draw Oracle, I win. But now I can't draw cantrip into Oracle. Every time I probed them, they didn't have a wasteland, and then they drew a wasteland. I feel like I could have played the game better, though. This game's probably had some optimizations. Oracle. Ritual. Okay. So, Dark Ritual. Shieldred. I can consult for Gush in response to things. And then on their, if I Gush on their turn, does that even help me? I go to 3, I go to 1, they attack. I consult Gush. What does playing the Mox do? If they like, if I block the oof, but I'm gonna have to block the army token. I mean, sure, whatever. I'll play the fucking shit. Whatever. Show me your secrets. If I do a Gush on their turn, active player, non-active player. It only gains us 2 life. I don't know. I didn't get that far. I mean, we could draw. We could draw I don't know. Wait. This is good. This is good. I block here. I go to 2, and in response to Deathrite Shaman, I consult for Gush. Right? Or what if they Deathrite Shaman in combat, though? Can I not block Oof? Or no? If I block Oof, and then they activate Deathrite in combat, then I would gain 4 up to 5 and take 5 and die. So I have to block the token, which means I can't kill the Oof here. That sucks. They're just gonna play another Bowmaster, chat. Like, it's fine. I know my opponent. Yes, I know Mox unlocks if I block Oof, but I die. This game was so tilting. I wonder if I had a win, though, during the turn where I dressed down. Probably not. Maybe, though, because I did draw a land, right? They didn't do it in combat. So they're going to wait till my upkeep? What's the plan, Stan? I mean, dazing this doesn't do anything, right? Because they haven't played a land yet. They'll just crack, play the land, and then replay their Underground Sea. And then we just lose a land, so it doesn't really help us. Oh, they played Misty this turn. Fuck! Well, okay, my bad. I should have dazed it. I mean, I have to Gush, though, and replay spells after. No, like, if I Gush and daze, I'm gonna have no mana to play the game. I can't be dazing here. I don't think I'm winning this game, chat, but I'm gonna keep playing. Oh yeah, active player, non-active player means I can't even do it on my turn, right? So I just can't win either way. So I had to do it before damage. Oh! Whatever, I don't care anymore. My opponent's about to kill me. Just top deck Oracle. I'm just dead because I didn't do it earlier. All right, whatever. Did I have a graveyard spell that could have exiled the target thing? Do I have that in my deck? Don't feel like I do. No. Whatever. I mean, I'm just going to do the losing play because I want to see where the Gush was. It was in my top 6, chat. All right. Thank fucking God. You know, I could not have done it in response to the Misty activation. That's not true. I would still have died. I'm losing my brains here. I should have done it after blockers were declared. I mean, Ancestral is the same thing as Gush here, but yeah, I guess Ancestral is better now because we have mana. But we can't draw cards because active player, non-active player, and there's a Bowmaster. Yeah, I mean, I missed on the days. Agreed. I got so wrapped up in what was happening, I missed that they played a land drop. Agreed. I don't know. Like, my opponent drew so well in those games. Was I ever winning any of them? Well, I couldn't cast push and gush because I had to consult for gush. And if I block the oof, I can go push and gush, but I can't block the oof because if they death rate in the combat step, I'm gonna take 2 extra damage if I go for gush. You know, like I guess then I would have to then I would just die. So like half these lines are bad. Oh, you're surprised? Necro is the worst card. I'm surprised I have a single Necro in my deck. We can't consult for push. I don't have another mana. Chat, please. This is why we don't stream Doomsday. This is the prime reason we do not stream Doomsday. I'm dying inside. In our upkeep, it doesn't matter anymore. We're dead. It's even worse if you're doing it in my upkeep. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the probe line. I'm going to go back to a probe line. I agree. I think there may have been a line inside of the probe. I agree with that statement. Of course, Kevin being the voice of reason. Everyone has just keeps spewing or deterministically killing yourself lines. And it's just like, why? No, there was a spot in this game where I think we had a chance, and it was this turn here. So I got wastelanded. They drew a wasteland off the top. And ruined my end of turn dress down line. But it's possible even after getting wastelanded, I still had a dress down line here. So, crack, play a land, fetch. I have a dress down. So I can consult for a Doomsday here. Can I win the game with this Doomsday here? So I dress down and draw. This is the same line I had before. So I guess it is the same line I had before. So I do have a win here if they have nothing, which they did. So I did lose this game myself, right? So I have... Oh, no, I drew an extra mana. So if I go Demonic, Consult... it's only because I drew the Jet, right? So Jet, Consult... I have to... Yeah, so I didn't think about it because I didn't reevaluate after Jet. I also kind of just thought if I drew 4 cards, I would win the game, right? Oh, I don't think we can do it on my turn. I don't think we have enough mana to do it on their turn. I like very specifically didn't do it on their turn because I thought our mana, like I calculated the line all the way out to a win if I hadn't gotten wastelanded and could dress down on their turn. But at this point, with Jet and Consult, I can consult for a Doomsday into yeah, probe into... I would have to not lose Gush. No, I don't even have to not lose Gush because I can get Ancestral. Oh, I think we just like had a deterministic win here. We might even have a deterministic win after probe. No, we don't have a deterministic win after probe, so probing is the problem. I mean, this is still non-deterministic because we need to see what the Doomsday exiles, right? But it's four Doomsdays off of console, so it's still a good chance. Okay, hold on. First, I want to do the line from this spot. From the Wasteland spot. We also don't know what's in their hand, which is part of the reason I wanted to probe. Agreed. So I definitely considered consult here. So if I consult here and I'm getting Doomsday, and then on my turn I am going dress down to 0 mana, Black Lotus to 3 mana, Doomsday, probing, but probing here isn't deterministic, right? It depends on what I draw. Like, say consultation mills no cards that matter. I don't think I have enough mana here because I need to be able to... I don't have enough draw spells. Oh, but because the collector roof is turned off. But no, but I need to. Oh, but I will be able to replay my land drop. It's only if we keep Gush, right? I feel like that was the thing I was saying during the time. It's only if we keep Gush. I believe I said that while we were discussing the line, and I felt like it was a higher chance of winning going dress down treasure cruise, draw cards. That was what I said that. So I thought from here it was a higher chance of winning, but I drew a land, which I guess evens out, so it's still the same because I didn't consult. It's still the same, and then my dress down drew me another Mox here. So that's the question: is after the ancestral doesn't work on the other line. Because we wouldn't have had extra blue mana, but it might work on this line because we drew this jet. So from this spot, if we consult, we have probe into ancestral, into Lotus, time walk. Yeah. From here, we have it. Without knowing their hand, we have it from here. Because we drew the land and we drew the jet. Because we have Black Lotus, so we use the jet to cast a consultation, and then we Black Lotus for Doomsday. Well, again, this has to not hit Ancestral and Gush. But from this spot, so the real problem is I didn't reevaluate after I hit jet, which I agree that I didn't do that, because I definitely didn't think about stopping here and reevaluating with jet. Because we have to hit Doomsday before Ancestral or Gush or 2 Oracles. And my opponent has to have nothing. We still don't know my opponent's hand, right? But what we could have done is just cruise first. I can't Gush an Ancestral with a probe. Why not? If I just consult right now, like I use my Lotus, I just think there's 5 black mana here. I have to go back like 0.1 seconds. I'm pretty sure I can from here. I don't know. Like from this spot why can't I just like do a little, whatever. This one I can do Ancestral because I'll have an extra mana. But like I didn't know what was in my opponent's hand, so I wanted to cast Probe. I also wanted to cast Probe because I wanted to Treasure Cruise and not mill Time Walk Lotus. Well, I need extra for that, right? Well, if I guess I could lose Time Walk or Lotus. Well, I guess I wouldn't have Lotus, so it would just be I'd lose Time Walk. Maybe I should have been more okay with losing Time Walk. I'm more okay with losing Time Walk. No. I know. I should have reevaluated after jet. I didn't reevaluate after jet. I'm actually pretty high likelihood to win if my opponent has nothing in hand and I don't mill Ancestral and Gush from here. I did not reevaluate after jet. But even at this point, I probe and I drew Daze. I mean, I'm supposed to cast Cruise. Like, I drew really poorly. I also, if I had taken 2 life, for my probe in this line, I would have had an extra blue mana, which means I would have been able to cast this Shieldred. I would have been at 7 life and I would have cast Shieldred here. I would have blocked on Oof and taken... I mean, like, I would have won this game with Shieldred. No? Maybe not. I kind of thought I had the blue mana to spare, but maybe I should have just used life on this probe. I think I played this section horrendously. Like, once I got to the... I don't think getting to this section is playing badly. I don't think it's unreasonable to not consult here thinking I'm only winning the game off of if I don't lose Gush. I don't mind this, but not reevaluating after drawing this jet is like really a bad play and like a game losing mistake. I don't feel like we've had too many of those today, but this one looks really bad. Because from here with jet, if my opponent has nothing, I am deterministic. It feels hard to make this play with a cruise in hand, though. But I need the time walk. I can't exile the time walk is the key. Because if I exile the time walk, I have to be able to time walk through my dress down, right? So like I can never exile time walk. That was pretty important. Like from this spot, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards that are not time walk in the yard. So I can't cruise my right now. If I consult first and then cruise, yeah, that's true. So I guess I was from here, consult, cruise. I have plenty. I can use this blue mana. And I have a Lotus left over. And then that like makes me have to have Gush though. Is that better? Like it means I have to not lose my Gush. Whereas if I just go without cruising, I can keep Gush or Ancestral. So I'm not actually sure that that's better. I don't really know the math there of like having two things that would have to get exiled. I have a land drop here? I don't have a land drop here. I played a fetch land this turn. I don't have a land drop here. Any cantrip doesn't really help though, because I should have triple black off of Lotus, and I'm using my last blue to Treasure Cruise. But I guess it lets me use my Lotus to go probe into cantrip. Okay. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think the bottom line is it sucks because I was thinking about these things here. Like when I'm here, I figured out the dress down line, a winning dress down line that beats my opponent having nothing. And then I got wastelanded and it threw it all off. And then I still was considering it here, but I didn't like it. So I think that's fine. Like I'm allowed to choose whether or not to consult here or not. I think that's okay. And then even here, it's fine, but it's just, I mean, the number of cards that give me make me have to reevaluate after this dress down are 2, right? It's just Sapphire and Jet. Because from this spot, if I don't draw Jet, do I still have any of the plays? No, I still have the Gush line, right? I still have the Gush line. So I really needed to reevaluate after this fetch land entered the battlefield. What I'm saying is the 2 turns before I was doing the right thing, and then this turn I did not do the right thing. Anyways, 4-2, pretty good. Round 1 loss, round 6 loss. Round 1, I feel like we played really well, and we just died because my opponent's cards were too good. And then we played some pretty solid rounds across the next 4 rounds. I think my biggest problems in those 4 rounds was just like trying to build the 100% max pile. But the rest of the gameplay looked really good. The mulliganing was really good. And then in this final round, my opponent had... I don't think there was a pile that beat Wasteland, right? We should probably like check that out really quick. There wasn't a pile that beat Wasteland in game 1, right? That was the first thing we ruled out. Right. There's no pile here that beats Wasteland because of the undergrounds, the Undercity sewers. And I think Wasteland's the card you want to play around the most, which is unfortunate. But if there was no pile here that beats Wasteland, then I'm not really upset with my pile in this sense. Because we played around the one card that we could beat, Mental Misstep, and we were losing to all the 1-mana counter spells and Wasteland. I think no matter what pile we built, we were losing to those cards. It's just all because of the Undercity Sewers. I mean, there's a possibility in this game that we could have played Undercity Sewers on turn 1 instead of Island. But by not doing that, we ended up with a nice turn 2 Doomsday. No. I mean, I like the way we played this game 1. I think it just didn't work out. And, like, we just needed my opponent not to rip the Wasteland off the top. That's okay. So, like, in general, like 2 rough matches where opponent had really strong hands and we weren't able to keep up, and some, I would say 4 good matches. So as for the changes I made, I think the Shieldred's fine. It didn't really come in too much. We had 2 rounds that came in. I actually had some nice options in that last game because of the Shieldred that I didn't really play to. Like I said, if I had used life instead of mana for probe, that'd be nice. I'm not spending 30 tickets on a Tarmogoyf or whatever that thing is. I'm fine. Yeah, I mean, a 5/6 doesn't matter. Like, none of the sizing mattered at all. The lifelink would have mattered, though. So, yeah, I don't think Barrowgoyf is bad. I just think it's, like, clearly not as good as Shieldred. Wait. Wouldn't it have been smaller because I cruised? I don't know. It doesn't. It's fine. I don't think I'm playing a Barrowgoyf, chat. Unless Kevin or Discover tells me to play a Barrowgoyf. I kind of wanted the Spell Pierce back over the 3rd Flusterstorm. I mean, Eric has beat my ass with the Barrowgoyf a couple times, so maybe it's fine, and it's easier to cast off of Dark Ritual. So, like, I can see the merit. There's merit to it, but I'm also not the person who's bringing in, like, I'm not going to bring the Barrowgoyf in the mirror. I think that's, like, way worse than Shieldred in the mirror. Like, there's probably matchups where the Barrowgoyf is better than Shieldred, but I don't feel like the mirror is one of them. So, I don't know. I like this Daze over Negation by a lot. That I still hold true. And this Long Goodbye looked okay, but didn't really matter. So as far as our changes to the deck go, this deck doesn't get that many changes anymore because it's too tight. Once you have Ponder in the deck, you don't really have choices. You have, like, this Daze and this Cruise and this Undercity Sewers are your flex slots. And maybe your 3rd Flusterstorm is a flex slot, but you have, like, almost no flex slots. So it's just sideboarding choices. Anyways, I feel like that was a good stream, good review. Another solid showing with Doomsday. Another 4 wins, 2 losses to add onto the win rate. So I'll go down a little in win rate, but not too big a deal. If you want to see more vintage videos like this one, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, where there are new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.